All right. Stay with me, boys. Negative time. We're going to get this going. And send all the love out to everybody who may want to join in. Because that's what we're about right now. Because never suffer in solitude. Suffer with your friends. That's the way it should be. Close all these. We tweeted it. We did all the things. Hello, internet friends. Anybody ready to hop in? Oh. About 10 minutes after my planned start time, but better than usual. 2 hours earlier than Saturdays. We're inching forward. Ever so gradually. Okay. Get a stopwatch going here. For my end, try to keep this workout under 2 hours. So far, been unable to accomplish that. Let's do it. It's gonna be a night. Boy, oh boy. Seeing some typing. What's up, friends? Oh, Big Lenny's back. Driving in the car right now. Well, don't watch. You can just listen to my sultry voice. Capus 10, I do not have a pull-down system other than just rigging up some bands. But then I just do pull-ups if I need to do anything that's pull-down-ish. Lenny's using text-to-speech. Well, good. Robert. Welcome, Invading Aliens. Hey there. You missed the last stream because you overslept. My notifications woke you up just in time for an appointment. Well, I'm glad I could help in some way. So, I may need an appointment after this. Squats last night were pretty brutal. I don't know if I was crying or sweating through my eyes. Either way, it wasn't fun. So we're going to see how this goes. Because conventional deadlifts and sets of 8 on squat are pretty much the same kind of ugh. But bench press, Spoto Press, then conventional deads. Going to try and hold myself a little bit more accountable with my rest times. But one of the main reasons I want to have, am I ready for TSM tomorrow? I don't know if anybody is ready for TSM tomorrow, Robert. They're going to bring the heat. But one thing that's happening tomorrow is I'm going to release another video. I was planning on having 2 up since Saturday, doing one on Sunday and then one again on Monday. But I switched over to a new editing software. Shout out to Marty Agos, who gave me these shoes, and also hooked me up with a more up-to-date version of my editing software, so that I gotta use that. So the video's done, I just need a commentary for it. So if you guys have any ideas for topics to talk about for about an 8 or 9 minute video, that'd be a thing. Invading Aliens TSM is my favorite League of Legends North American team. So that's a real nerdy deep cut there for you. You believe you were at the gym and some dude had his shirt off, pretty much got kicked out? It's unfortunate. That should be a safe place where you can have your shirt off anytime you want. Don't worry though, mine will stay on. Mine will stay on through the entirety of this workout. Unless the paramedics have to come and cut it off of me, but we'll see. Oh, geez. You're watching this on your overlay while playing CSGO competitive? Well, I better not be slowing down your ping, my friend. I am not responsible for any deaths. You wonder how many views I'd get without the shirt? Oh, man. Negative views. The density. Shirtless Ben stream. I don't think so, friends. I don't think, not during this season. 'Tis not the season. You have 1,000 megabits up and down? Well, 5 ping. All right. Where are you, Korea? Jeez. I'm just hoping that my OBS stays up this time. It'd be awesome to have a stream with no video drops whatsoever. So, Amsterdam. Okay. Not quite Korea. Korea would call that subpar? Yeah. Well, but that's what I mean, if he was watching this stream while playing, that could be, I don't know. I don't know, guys. This would be a good night to prank me, because I would not catch on. Please don't, though. Well, League of I don't actually play Invading Aliens. I don't play the game. I'm just a diehard fan. Lenny just got home. Okay. Well, I am more comforted by the thought of you not trying to drive around and be distracted by this. No distracted driving. And yes, Invading Aliens, I did look up Big Lenny. Not the Big Lenny Jr. who's currently in here with us. Genitos Lions, I don't play as much anymore. For a time I did play League of Legends. I did play Call of Duty at the highest level I was able to, but I was not able to control a bunch of my my mental state when I would do that. I would get so absorbed in the game. I'm currently playing Pokemon Go again, so at least I can justify that gets me out and doing active recovery walks. So I can't stop playing that game until I catch a Snorlax. He was my favorite Pokemon when I was a kid. 10-year-old Ben wanted a giant Snorlax tattoo. Could have been awesome. I'm just lame. Isn't he beautiful? He's something, man. He's something. Big Lenny could be a Snorlax in another life. We're going to have Benrice viewer games in the future. I think there was a video a few years ago where I told people my my Xbox Live account name, and I played with a couple of subscribers. We played some Call of Duty. I wasn't good, but I didn't quit out of games because I was always trying to get better. Genitosu is definitely Charizard for you. Unique and different. I think that was a pretty popular. Maybe you're joking. Sarcasm doesn't come across so well from that side coming in. I hope you guys can tell when I'm being sarcastic. Or maybe I don't care. What? Gandalf PL Swift Rage. Same Charizard for you. Yeah. Oh, when I started playing the game, all I wanted was a Snorlax card. And now with Pokemon Go, same steal, same status and deal comes out to steal. Yeah, you were joking. See? Unique. Thinking you're unique. Fire dragons. He's probably the coolest fire starter since the games have existed, I think. In case you guys are wondering, this is the closest I've had to an actual pre-workout. Normally, my monster consumption would have been earlier today, and I just popped a caffeine pill, so another 200 milligrams of caffeine, because I am roasted from last night's squats. Stand damn. Benjamin, you're back. I am back too. Roxalito, you have knee pain from squats? Check out Kelly Starrett Mobility WOD videos. Watch a whole bunch of them. He has like an entire series on fixing knee pain, chronic knee pain, athlete's knee, terminal extension, all sorts of stuff. Patrick, what's the biggest thing I'm doing to ensure I improve my placing at this year's Nationals? I don't really have much control about my placing. All I can do is bring my absolute best performance. I don't set my goals based off of what other people are able to do, because someone could, show up that no one's ever heard of who's just better than everybody. And so I'm just going to try to put up my absolute best performance, lift the weights I can, and be able to look back on no matter what happens and say that I did everything that was within my power to bring my best and learn from the things that I can improve on. So, BRB clutching. Do you, boo-boo? Ace them out, man. Patrick, oh, you already asked. I already answered that. Robert, any places nearby you can find a Snorlax? Man, they don't nest. They don't nest, bud. I've been searching the biomes around Montesano and Aberdeen, but it's a pretty rare spawn, so we'll see. Lenny wants me to go shirtless and say this is the ideal male body. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. Oh man, we're getting there. Genitos, what do I usually bring as far as food and caffeine for powerlifting meet? I usually just bring my caffeine pills if I need them, and then I'm really weird. I tend to bring like Lenny and Larry's cookies for my carbs, and then I drink egg whites every day anyway. Actually, I have a carton here that I had a half of it earlier, and so I'll probably get some protein in a little bit. You want a 1v3 clutch invading? Yep, the voice gave you power. Okay, maybe you should be watching the stream while playing. Oh man, we're getting into this. We're gonna do the thing. First set, not too bad. Way better. Last night's 6x6 at 295 felt like I was pulling teeth out of my shoulders after I'd been mauled by a mountain lion or something. Lenny's eating some pizza. Yeah, I've just got some egg whites and a Monster Ultra Blue and a couple of bottles of water to keep me from cramping. I slammed a V8 before this. That was fun. Pulling teeth out of the shoulders. Lenny, have I ever done two-a-days in football? Yeah, I used to do it, but my training wasn't always as focused on powerlifting. So my buddy Adam and I used to go, and we'd get up at like 5 in the morning. He'd pick me up from my house. We'd drive to Aberdeen, go to the YMCA, do a weightlifting workout, and then a swimming workout. Then we'd go to school during during the summer we would go to the school and do the weight room training there, and then after that we'd do a track workout. So we did like 3 or 4 days through my last couple years of high school. In Vailians, what I do for core, you tend to stick to front squats and pause reps on deads. Lately I've been looking to incorporate a bit more core work. Ab wheel rollouts and hanging leg raises. The first coaching tips video is my thoughts on core work specifically. So check it out on the channel, core training for powerlifters. Because as nice as it is to work on your core through isometric holds and control through like a front squat or like pausing things, for hypertrophy in a lot of those muscles, you still need to go through movement. So I like those specific things because you're keeping an extended core position, you're working on your posture, and you're keeping tension in the right areas of your body, but then you're also having to break at the hip and move. And I think that's beneficial. Lenny, since I have a home gym, do I think 2-a-days could benefit, or would it be too intense? No, what I would do is I would just break my normal work into 2 sessions. That's all I would probably do, maybe a little bit more accessory work. When I was running Shaco the first few times, I basically was doing workouts that were intended to be 2-a-days. I would just do them for a long extended thing. And some of my workouts in the past have been 5 or 6 hours even without live streaming them. So those were dark times. Never heard of that one before. Oh, the shoulder thing. So you've been trying to do invading aliens? Yeah, just work on it directly. And I mean, your core strength and grip strength are 2 things that you never have too much of it. It's better to always work on them. And as long as you training them directly outside of your normal training, or along with your normal training, isn't affecting your ability to recover from workout to workout so that you're able to perform, then I think that it's good to have more in there. And your core tends to recover pretty quickly. So, same with grip. All right, so number 2. Brandon, thanks for answering all your gear questions. Oh, about the platform and everything? Is that what you were referring to? Or were you talking about the rack? Remind me. I'm a little fuzzy. $17 minutes, so far so okay. Exactly on pace. No idea what these RPEs are at. Robert, on the larger side, trying to cut weight, ab rollout, you find it hard to get like really down. Does it matter if I can get all the way down? I feel like you put a lot of pressure on your shoulders. I would say with most things, range of motion has to be decided by what you can safely accomplish, right? So I think that it's better to work on your mobility and allow yourself to come down naturally. If you can only get so far before like other stuff starts to come in that really has the potential to hurt you, then you need to obviously don't push past your body's ability to handle those kinds of loads, because it's a bad idea to try and push through pain that's going to set you back. So ease into it. You don't have to go as far, as long as you're focusing on the positioning, as long as you're focusing on building the strength. Partial range of motion in those instances can be a beneficial thing. I think for sumo deadlifting, people could benefit if you're not able to get into a good sumo deadlifting start position because you lack the mobility or something's in the way. Starting with block pulls and slowly working your way down to the ground as you build the mobility and the stability in those areas that are not quite there. You just have to make sure that you're currently working on it, and if you're trying to lose a little bit of weight, then that might help. And if you want to stay the body weight that you are, then building up a tolerance in the ranges that you can handle, and then slowly over time progressing a little bit further. Gear questions, yeah, Ben, the platform and rack, JK. At first I was thinking, like, did someone ask me a question like that? I don't think I've answered any of those. Rack and platform. Wondering why I went with the Rogue versus an Elite FTS is for the rack. Well, I got it on Craigslist. So I was looking at Texas Strength Systems originally to make one custom. Elite FTS is really expensive. I believe the quality of their work, and same with Texas and same with Rogue, but the place I got them, most of my equipment initially was a Craigslist ad where I was just very lucky and got maybe $4,000 worth of equipment for less than $2,000. Robert, if you go too far, just fall on your face. Yeah, don't do that. Try to avoid that. You can do negatives. You can have like a pillow down there and go as far as you can, and then let yourself kind of recover and then set it again. Those negatives you might be able to build up a little faster. But Stand-Am, I am going to be in, not in July. I'm not going to be in Orlando in July. I'll be, in Orlando in October for the USAPL Raw Nationals, though. Lenny, opinion on elbow position in the bench. I hear some say tuck and others say flare. I feel very weak with my elbows tucked even slightly. Whenever I go heavy, my elbows always flare out. I think that the tuck position is something that was really, really heavily pioneered by a lot of shirted benchers. Because if you want to engage the pec, which is a big muscle that can help you move more weight, you want to have your lats engaged, but that doesn't mean tucking your elbows in like this. So I think keeping a natural, not flared like this, where you're going to overload the rotator cuff and cut off all the space that you have here in the joint capsule, but somewhere in between, the elbow should just be under the wrist, and it should come down kind of at a natural sort of pattern, because you don't generate a whole lot of strength like this off of your chest, especially if your elbows are super tucked. And I did that for a very long time and didn't have the best results. Some people, if they swear by it and it's been working for them, Again, seek the one who, follow those who seek the truth, but question those who say they found it. Remember how DARE was to prevent kids from falling into peer pressure to use drugs? Where is DARE now when everyone in the gym is encouraging me to use gear? Man, I'm not so sure DARE was the most effective strategy for a lot of people. A lot of the times when you approach something, I'm talking about enhancement kind of gear right now, but I think one of the biggest issues that happens and why it's so appealing to people is that you're told from a very young age how bad drugs are. You're told from a very young age how bad using steroids would be, and anabolics are just this evil thing. But then once you learn more about it and you think critically about it, the negative side effects are usually overblown in the media, and it's one of those things where it's almost better to just be upfront and honest with people at a younger age and tell them these things are illegal, you shouldn't use them. They're not a demon beast that's going to turn into a monster and kill you in all these different ways, just because otherwise why would we give them to people who have AIDS? Why would we give them as a anti-aging medication? It's almost, I think that the people who are being drawn to a lot of these kinds of things now are almost doing it in response to all the negativity that was pushed in that direction, because once you learn more about some of these topics, and it applies to everything. It applies to anything that if you're introduced and some particular subject is incredibly demonized your entire life, once you learn that it's not as bad as you were told, you have a much harder time believing that anything that was said about it was true. And so people swing from being like, that's bad, that's horrible, that's a bad thing that I should never even think about. And then once you develop the critical thinking ability to make decisions for yourself, you're told by some other people that maybe it's not so bad after all, and it tends to switch people's opinion way more than I think just being honest with them would. That's my opinion. I think that's why DARE wasn't a very effective drug control program. But that's way out of my depth of that's one of those questions where has to be just my opinion. I can't really say that I have an expert opinion on that. So we're gonna come back, Lenny. I got to do another set. Trying to stay better on track this time. before. Yeah, slow down a little bit. You shouldn't emulate lifters, but you see a lot of people who tuck quite a bit. You can emulate. I mean, if someone's better at something, it's not always a bad thing to try and emulate, to try something out, but also use your critical thinking and kind of use common sense. If you see everyone doing it one way and you try that out and it feels horrible or it feels painful in the wrong kinds of way, maybe even if it's right, it may not be the right time for you to try and pursue that exact same thing. Again, if you have like mobility issues or you have pre-existing injuries that might make you different than the avatar that you are trying to emulate, that becomes an issue. So I think the best course of action when trying to learn from high-level lifters or high-level, if you're trying to learn a skill from anybody who's like the best at it, make sure that they fit kind of the, in physical sport, you want to try and emulate people who are at a high level but kind of remind you of yourself in terms of like their leverages and their build. Like if I watched Bryce Lewis squat and I tried to squat like Bryce does, I would not be able to, I would be not using my kind of my natural positions of strength and power to their best ability. I'd be trying to emulate someone who's built completely different than me. And it doesn't mean that the way he squats is wrong or the way that I squat is right. It just means that there are certain factors where you can have people at a high level who just end up with kind of a different looking product, I guess. And your mom still thinks creatine is a steroid? Well, my advice for that is to just have open conversations with the people in your life, to explain things and show them the studies and help educate them. People are scared of what they don't understand. So, Robert, another for you. See, I'm not just being a troll and talking about league for once. Do you ever find with conventionals your hips feel really tight after? I feel like mine super tight from doing conventional deadlifts. Been doing more mobility work, but just was wondering if you heard of that. They can make your hips tight. If you're, I always feel like absolute death by the time I get to conventionals because the night before is 40 working reps of squat and I feel horrible after that. So coming into this session, I'm never expecting to feel good. But Tom Kim, do I track macros? Yes, I haven't been super accurate lately, just because we're bringing me up a whole weight class. And I get mentally lazy sometimes. I should be tracking them much closer than I am, though. Even when you're bulking, to just kind of keep yourself from getting sloppy and feeling horrible. Gabraj Kang, do you have any future career plans that are not related to training? I mean, I want to see kind of where I can go as well with my a cappella group, but this is really what I love doing. Anything else running in the background, so we'll just keep trying. If it keeps falling, we'll keep doing it until I can't keep it up anymore. Yeah, to be honest, you've been thinking about don't do juice, so you're not being able to find out you got natural. So we've been thinking a lot, considering literally all my gym friends are on juice. That's unfortunate. I spent a long period of time where I was surrounded by people who were using enhancement, invading aliens, and it's just that's why you always have to measure your goals against your standards. You can't measure them against other people, what they choose to do, or let it affect you. Bro, you don't need the juice. I don't know what's causing it. I am unaware. Streaming. I'm just doing everything I can to get this to stay up long enough that just close the OBS really quick and then open it again before it cuts the stream into multiple videos, because I don't want to spam my own channel. I don't know. It must not be related to when I dropped the deadlift bar too hard then. So I guess we've learned something from this. Stand am, the elbows were hurting from the squats. Do I think that knee wraps and sleeves cause permanent damage to the knees? I haven't heard any conclusive evidence that would support that, and all the anecdotal evidence I have is not suggesting that. So, stream is down. Yep, we're doing it. Stand am, all the steroid talk causing the stream to keep crashing. If we talk about straps again for deads, it will finally crash it. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. I thought we got past that. Yep. I feel like I'm getting better at dealing with the dropping. I'm not as psyched out when the stream goes down. It just bums me out a little bit. So we're holding decently right now. My friend Marty told me he's going to be sending me a webcam. Maybe that'll help. Maybe I'm overtaxing the something. Ben, do a set. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a set. I'm on my last one here. I just wanted to. I can't leave if the stream drops for too long, and I don't stop and start the OBS. Then it cuts the video in half, and I don't want to spam my own channel with a bunch of partial uploads. I peaked that peak monster. It's a. What is it? Monster Energy drinks. Please sponsor. Trying to be a good viewer. No, you're okay, Robert. You're okay. I'm doing better than usual. I'll say that much. So now it looks pretty stable. So we're gonna do this last regular bench set, and then we're gonna move into the Spoto presses. Down. You saw half a set. You saw half a set. No, it drops for me like 10 seconds before you guys are gonna see it. So I'll see it and try to fix it. Oh man, bummer though. I don't know what to do differently with it. I don't know what to do differently. I've cleared out a lot of extra memory on my computer, so it's got like half the gigs of free space. So it shouldn't just be the computer. I guess I need to try to start working myself up to like a desktop or something that's more powerful. Lenny, come on. Rest in pepperoni. Stream looks pretty stable. Famous last words. How true is that, right? Well, I'll keep hanging out as long as you guys keep hanging out. I'll keep trying it. I'll keep trying to keep the dream alive. Keep the stream alive. What is causing that to happen? Anybody who knows more about streaming than I do, please tell me your knowledge, wisdom. Kalal, you've been getting some numbness in your right finger from squatting, doing 4 sessions a week, small of junior cycle back to back. Any advice? I'm looking into using a false grip and trying to widen my grip. It sounds like you don't have enough engagement in your upper back. If the bar's moving, if the bar is compressing onto that finger. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are we there? Oh my gosh. This is the worst it's been. This is the worst it's been. You think it's the internet? I'm hooked up to a LAN cable right now. And what I'm getting is that I'm seeing all of your guys' comments. I'm seeing everything coming in through the internet, but it's telling me that on my OBS that it's dropping, that if there's too much on your CPU, you wouldn't be able to close and open OBS. I don't know what to say, man. I'm watching the kilobits per second going from 2600 down to 0. That's what keeps happening. And I just did it again. Come on. Back up to 2027, 2207, 2098, 737. Man, if it's the internet, then it's the actual internet. It's not the internet hooked into my laptop. Man, the stream's killing itself right now. We had a few more people in, the few but faithful. Such a bummer. Kalal 9,999. If you're still able to see this, I think you might just be wearing out your upper back and losing your tightness and not able to hold it, and so it's resting too much on your hand. It might help with that. Wrapping your wrist really tightly might help with that. The stream software. What can I do? What can I do to? Oh man. It's not working, guys. I don't know if it's working. It just makes me sad. It's just a bummer that it's going in and out. Watching it be okay, then watching it not be okay. I don't know how to stabilize it more than it is. Rip toe, ripperoni, rip, all the rip comments. And now it's, I'm not going to say it. Don't say it. Hold your breath, friends. Cloud9999, all the nines. My advice, if it doesn't lag again, it's going to lag again. Don't do it. Yeah, I can hear you. What did you say? I said that you, because of how much you're doing your squat volume and your squat frequency, you are potentially losing a lot of back tightness and letting the bar rest too much on your hands. If you have your thumb wrapped around the bar and you're doing that, and you're not wrapping your wrist tightly enough, then that extra pressure could be cutting off some of the issues, or you could have some nerve impingement that's happening from that. I have that happen if the bar is sitting a little too high on my, up here on this joint. If it's a little bit too high, then it kind of causes numbness down my shoulder. And I think that switching to a false grip, making sure that you're being consistent with your upper back tightness and your shelf of your back and your positioning, I think that those can be really beneficial for trying to help that. But if it's like real nerve issues, then you need to maybe get that checked out, or at least cut some of the volume that's caused, or cut some of the work that's specifically involving it and causing the issue. So, and the aliens, my PC's, it's a laptop, it's an HP, I think it's an Envy. I have the box around somewhere. I took the box inside. It's not, it's like an X360 or something laptop. Ripto will be proud of my hip drop. Goodness gracious. I wonder if my stream options are off, that's why. Let me see. Optimized for interaction with low latency. It gives me an option for less viewer buffering, but I don't know what that would do to the output. They're really bad if my laptop is struggling. It's not my phone. I'm not streaming on my phone because I didn't think my phone would have a consistent internet connection. It's got to be my laptop because my internet connection is stronger than this. But I don't know. We seem to be holding all right now. I'll go load the weight. If it drops a few more times and it just becomes unbearable, then I may end up just cutting it because I don't want to stress too much about this and not actually have the good session and try to work on it and figure it out. So thank you to the few of you that are still sticking around trying to... I tell myself it's because so many people wanted to hang out that it crashed the server, even though that's definitely not the case. Man. Are you going to behave yourself, OBS? Because if I walk away again, you go down, we're going to have issues. Slow moments, slow moments. Get up slowly, don't hurt the laptop. Yep. Thanks for trying. Hopefully it holds up. We're hoping. Soon okay. YouTube's scared of the strength. Man. I don't know. It usually just happens a few times during the stream, and it'll happen a lot at once, and then it tends to be okay. I don't know what's causing it, though. Threaten your laptop with the hook straps. I don't want to make it angry and make it will bow down. No, it'll run and hide. It knows how I feel about that and doesn't want to get beat up. Goodness gracious. And I forgot to turn off, I was so stressed about that, I forgot to turn off my camera, so I just filmed 9 minutes of me talking but not being on camera. It'll bow down. So, yeah, I'll probably, when the VOD goes up, I'll probably put it like a, oh, we can't do annotations anymore. Maybe I'll link when the when the game resumes, I guess, and after that 10 minutes of me ineffectually trying to fix the stream. Anyway, we're going to move on to the Spoto Press now. We've got, we had 310 on the bar for the 4x4 of the regular benching, and now we've got 330 on there. So that should be fun. It's for a triple, and then we'll take the weight back off. I think that would be like a 300 pound for my 10% off if this goes well. So we'll see. But let's keep this going. Let's keep up the... Try to build it back up. We lost a lot of wind in the sails there, friends. But this is why you meditate. This is why you practice on mindfulness and meditation and acceptance, because you can't always control everything, but you still have to keep yourself engaged and be able to work through the problems that you have no idea how to fix. Lenny, I'm gonna do this set because I'm gonna read your comment, and it looks like I'm gonna have to think before I say anything. Oh boy. I feel like it's impossible for me to count while I'm down there. Or it's impossible for me to count accurately. Because I try to count to 2 on each of those pauses and it feels more like 10 seconds. And I probably rush those too. Alright, Lenny, why do I think some lifters can pull sumo very upright like Belkin while you pull more horizontal, even though you guys are built pretty similar? Probably stance width. He definitely takes a wider stance than I do, with more turned out feet, and I don't. That's the reason why. So I think some of it comes down to like hip mobility, and I guess there's just a lot of other factors. When I was pulling in the suit, or if I had a longer bar to pull on, I would probably have a little bit wider foot placement, because when I was getting ready for the Arnold's suited competition, I was pulling a lot closer to having my feet almost contacting the plates, and yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Would I consider adopting a style like that? I'm not super opposed to it, but I have a feeling that currently Yuri's pulling on a deadlift bar, and so when the start for a sumo deadlifter is the least optimized position, and the wider your feet are, the more extreme that position is, the more problem you might have getting the weight started, the more it's going to really be putting a lot of pressure and taxing on those hips. Plus, I squat pretty bent over too. I'm not a very upright squatter, so I have a lot. My glute and erectors are really like taking that load a bit more, and so even when I set myself up down like that, up down, even when I set my hips a little lower and have a little bit more upright torso, my hips kind of correct up a bit and back. It would just take time to practice that. And currently with the stiff bar that you use in the USAPL and the IPF, I feel like there would be a high likelihood that I would not get enough of a benefit from the bar, because with a deadlift bar you can move it a significant amount before you actually have to take the load, and you can have a higher hip position by the time that you have the full weight in your hands. And I think that the deadlift bar really benefits that, and you don't get that same benefit on with a stiff bar. That's kind of my thoughts on it, but I don't have a really solid, well thought out answer, I guess. Aliens, can we get Motar 2K in here so Ben can buy a stream PC? Man, I would love to be able to upgrade all my stuff, but I'm as you guys know, I'm a little poor boy, so I love doing what I do too much to ask people more money to do it. So, but that's okay. If you guys can put up with it, I can put up with it. That's how I'm looking at it. Because it bums me out, but I get to see what happens in here, and so I want you guys to be able to have a good experience, and it's less that I'm frustrated with what's happening, and I feel bad that you guys are having to watch a choppy stream, and I'm putting out a subpar piece of content. I don't like that. That's one of the reasons why when I go through periods of time where I won't upload a video, it's because I don't think I have one that's good enough to share with people. So my perfection paralysis kicks in hard. Does quite a bit of training on a stiff bar as well. Posts a lot of stiff bar footage on Insta. Yeah, Lenny, like I said, I don't have a solid answer. There was a time when I pulled with a way wider stance. There was times when I've pulled with narrower stances. I think I've just kind of found currently a stance that is a good mix of me being able to generate power at the start and also utilize my hip position in a decent way. Does it smell like up dog in here? Oh, what's up, dog? What's up, dog? Cal, do you have any recommendations for hypertrophy PL program for the off season? I think that my general advice for people, because I do get this question a lot, and not necessarily that specific part of the question, but the idea of what is a good program or what to do or this or that. I think that people don't need programs as much as they need a coach, or they need to check out some of the resources, because no program is going to be as good as finding something that's optimized for you as an individual lifter. And so I feel really hesitant to try and make recommendations when my real recommendation is to find someone to help you through it in terms of planning something that's for you, or to look up resources. People like Eric Helms, Greg Knuckles, Mike Israetel have really solid information out there about building programming and stuff. And I know Eric specifically has a 7-video series called it's his pyramid series for strength and conditioning. And I think it's one of those things where if you're willing to put it, it's maybe 5 or 6 hours to get through the whole thing, but if you're willing to put in the time to get through the whole thing, you learn a lot, and then you can make decisions. I think otherwise, if that's not really what you're looking for, then take just about any program that's kind of been vetted and then just add some more accessories to it. A 531 or a cube or whatever you find that's out there. There are lots of things that are out there. Take something like that, lower the working weights a bit on the compound lifts, and then add some accessories that are specific for hypertrophy in the areas that you need to work on it. That's how I would go about it if I was telling someone what to do for that. Otherwise, I'd say hire a coach. Hire a coach or someone to program for you. And even if it's not me, find someone. I'm not just trying to tell you to oh yeah, hire me, because that's what I would say if I was a smart businessman. But I also believe that you can get an effective coach that isn't necessarily me. So. Joshua, by the way. Yeah, Kellogg, you'll check out the area. Yeah, I suggest it. I wish, I truly, from the bottom of my heart, wish that I had a program that I could point to that was going to be perfect for everybody. And the problem is it doesn't exist, and it can't exist. You may have good results from something, but if someone else made the program for a different lifter, unless you share all of the strengths and weaknesses and the same progression rate and all the things that this other lifter has, you're going to have a really, really difficult time finding something that is going to be as effective for you as programming that is specific to you. So, can you find a canned program or a non-customized program that can work very well? Absolutely. I've done it. I've seen it happen before. But the best options are either to have someone guide you through it, or to take an extended amount of time where you're focusing on researching the methods behind it, because that's really what a coach is. You're paying for the convenience of, as far as someone programming for you. I think that coaching has much less to do with programming and has much more to do with kind of athlete coaching. is the movement of a lifter's mentality from the start of their time working with the coach through the entire process. I think it's way more mental than it is physical. Programming itself is relatively simple. Once you understand the basics of it, it doesn't need to get much more complicated than that. But so I think that shouldn't take a whole lot of time. It may take a long time until you're comfortable enough with your knowledge of something to be able to implement it for yourself. But I still think that the best way to go about it would be to kind of find someone to walk with you on that journey. And there are other options. If like an individual coach is outside of your price limit, then looking into something like a guided programming system. I know that RTS has some things like that. That's Mike Teixeira's group. Myself, Garrett Blevins, and Brandon Campbell have the BCR guided programming. Blevins, Campbell, Rice, I think. Two of those letters are actually my initials. So, but that's something you can pretty much get into anytime. And Garrett gets the program out, and it's customized based off of your answers to a questionnaire. And then it's got more of a community feel where you can ask questions and make adjustments through that. And the three of us try to help out with answering questions on like the Facebook page. But something like that is really beneficial, or just finding resources and digging into understanding, at least from a programmatic perspective. And then afterwards, it's really helpful to have someone who can just be objective in making decisions for you. I was uncoached for a very, very long time, and I've made a lot more. I've had a lot more success in terms of my personal growth through having Eric and Hanny there, just to objectively kind of keep me stable, and just having someone, even if they're not making all the decisions all the time, having someone who you know is there that's kind of going through it with you, that is invested in your success, is really helpful, in my opinion. I missed a few things. I was kind of talking to myself there, I guess, but I hope it was at least helpful to you guys. Brandon, for an aspiring powerlifter who is a trucker, I can't decide between getting a couple of kettlebells or one of those adjustable dumbbell block kits. I've been looking for a long time at the Power 90, not Power 90, the Bowflex 1090s. The adjustable from 10 pounds up to 90 pound dumbbells, but they're like $600. So an aspiring powerlifter doesn't need dumbbells. An aspiring powerlifter needs a barbell and weights, and then everything else is kind of extra credit. But yeah, so I'd say establish your basics first and then kind of branch out from there. There's still a lot of things in here that I'd like to upgrade. I just haven't had the opportunity to yet, financially. So we'll get there. Good points. You know, a friend who's done a lot of training by himself, started up with TSA, and noticed huge difference in his improvements. Yeah, Robert, it's not just about the programming, because the programming you're going to get is probably not going to be like life-changing, groundbreaking stuff. That's one of the things. It's like simple tends to be the most effective. Simple and boring work tends to be the most effective work. But having someone there to help you through the objective path. Maybe this is the topic of the video for tomorrow. I've got it all edited. I just need to do the commentary. Maybe I need to go over my thoughts on why having a coach is really helpful, other than just helping the coach out financially, because that's their job. But it also speaks to, I think, the quality of a coach is measured much more in their interactions with their athletes than it is with the success of the athlete. Some athletes are successful in spite of their situation because the programming is usually the easiest part of it, in my opinion. A good coach coaches the lifter, not just is a program bot. You can do that with an Excel spreadsheet with a decent understanding of how progressive overload works. Aliens, you tried to donate $2 for the stream PC fund. YouTube doesn't accept PayPal. I don't know. I just enabled the super chat thing. Lenny's answering because he managed to help me be a little less poor last stream. He donated some fun little comments. Brandon, more for putting on the truck until I can get home time to get in the gym. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense, Brandon. Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough. I would say probably the adjustable dumbbells, because you can do more with them than when you have a solid one weight kettlebell. You can be inventive with your movement selection, but you can't change the loading then, and I think that's a big part of it. Just you started the channel with your buddy Jin. Not sure if you thought you were talking to him when you said Jin. My bad. Lenny, what's my day job? My day job is coaching. I do this full time. I coach lifters. I'm not opposed to looking into some other financial things. I've had many day jobs. I've worked as a custodial worker. I've worked as a farmhand. I've worked as an RA for 4 years. I worked as a weight room attendant in the rec center at the university I attended. I worked as an access desk member. I've done a lot of things. I was a volunteer firefighter in Montesano for a few years. Drove an ambulance, made transport runs and stuff. Yeah. PG Mergener, hi there. Well, hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm being a full-time LOL streamer on Twitch, my alter ego. Man, no, I'm not good enough at League to stream there full-time. Yeah, creator of Uncle Ben's Rice. I would love those royalties. I would love those. Some of my lifters actually made a little meme that's the Insta gains of Uncle Ben's. Oh man, the joke was bad, and I got it all through like my elementary school years. PG, have I ever injured my spinal erectors? I wonder how many powerlifters have hurt their erectors. It's been 1 year and you're still screwed. Is it your erectors, or is there some spinal stuff going on? I'm sure you went and had it checked out. I had a problem with my facets in my spine before. We found out that the arches in my feet were unbalanced, and so my pelvis was shifted, and I was hyperlordotic in my spine, which meant that I had too much spinal extension. So it wasn't that I was constantly getting in a flex state, but I had an overarch in my lower spine, and it was causing the joint capsule, or through the spinal column, it was causing one of the, it was leaning back into the spine like that, and then it was offset to one side on my left side because my pelvis was uneven, and so it was putting a lot of pressure on the facet. And so I fixed it through insoles, but that wasn't a soft tissue injury. That was a spinal issue. So I know many people have probably hurt themselves doing this, and I know many people who have gotten different injuries through powerlifting. I haven't been able, if you're talking about hurt your erectors and you've had a deep muscle tear in your spinal erector, I'll let you answer through in the comments if that's in the stream, if that's what was happening. Genitos is a fan of the coaching commentary topic. We'll see. Tyler, what primary camera do you use for your videos? Also, how do you feel about submaximal weight training versus 90 plus in terms of getting stronger? I use my GoPros. I have two. Currently, I use one of the tripods to hold this microphone, so I've only been using one of them for the actual video itself. This is a webcam just through my laptop, which is why the quality is so much lower. And I think that submaximal training, for the most part, for especially for advanced athletes, is honestly the way to go, because working within 90% of your 1 rep max, if you have, in terms of absolute weight, if your maxes are really high, then you're gonna have more damage to the connective tissue. And so submaximal ends up, I work more submaximally now than I used to in the past, and I don't think that I was doing it wrong before. I've made many mistakes, but I think that it changes depending on the lifter and where they're at in their strength journey. I think that you can start out a little bit more maximal because you're making progress so much that maximal isn't maximal for long, but eventually you have to back off and do more submaximal work, or else you're going to burn out your joints and all the connective tissue that doesn't make it adaptations as quickly as your soft tissue does. So I think that it's a mix of things. There's not one right answer. There may be one right answer at different stages of the individual lifter's progression. So, Robert, where's the donation link? Looking for it. There should be just a little money sign at the bottom that says Super Chat, and that's how that works. And that's all I know. I just enabled it. I don't know anything about it. I need to do more research. If I was actually thinking about this being a main kind of source of revenue income, but it's funny because the ad revenue on YouTube is so low right now that last stream we made $4, which is like almost half a month's worth of what my ad revenue from YouTube is. So I hope you guys know that I'm definitely not in this for the money, or else I wouldn't be trying it still. All right. I'm still bad at Spoto presses, but they're feeling less horrible. You can almost not even tell that I'm doing Spoto presses from that angle, because my tummy's popping up with my little baby arch. Did I miss somebody? I think I missed somebody. Robert, oh, I already answered that. Brandon, more for trucker living to use on the truck. Barbells won't fit on the truck. No, that makes sense, man. I'm sorry. I hadn't kept up with the rest of I haven't caught up to the comments yet when I was answering that. Man. Pull-up bar would be that's a good suggestion, Lenny. If you can find a way, Brandon, to hook up a pull-up bar. Truck pulls, oh gosh, rest in peace. Quads. I used to do that when I was doing, when I would do strongman training with my buddy Zach, and it was awful. Dorothy got a bulging disc a year ago and still don't feel the same. Discs are different. Bulging disc is something that can stick with you. You have to basically make recovery and, rehab like your full-time kind of committed job almost. 1-6. One more. I'm sorry to hear that though, Dorothy. That's unfortunate. PG got it. You checked your spine is 100% cool. You believe it was a tear. Your rectors got screwed years after lifting with poor flexibility. I was going to compete in an amateur powerlifting competition. Look into your maybe your glute mobility. I think a lot of people overload their erectors because their glutes are too tight, and when you get to the bottom of a squat or the bottom of a deadlift, what it does is it forces this tight glute will force your spine into flexion at the bottom, that butt wink that's happening, and that could be putting extra pressure on the erector. So focus on getting those glutes more mobile so that you can keep your spinal position more solid, and that might help, especially if you haven't had a chance to alleviate it, and trying to get back into it keeps re-aggravating the injury. So that's something I would look into. Something just popped up here. What is that? Robert. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Robert with the very generous super chat donation. Wow. Is this you atoning for all the strap triggering comments from the last stream? I greatly appreciate it. You're allowed to talk about straps for the rest of the stream. You can say it all you want. It's not even a curse word for this anymore. Lenny, injuries always heal, can always heal. Herniated disc from like a year and a half ago, you're back 2,500. Well, it's different extremes for different people. And the process coming back may be pretty extreme for some individuals. My friend Zach McCarley is a pro strongman, the guy who I was talking, sorry, I'm still blown away, $25. That's food for Chester for a week. Thank you. Zach messed up his SI joint. He's a professional level strongman, and it took him well over a year to be able to get back to working through that injury. So it's different rates for different people, but I think the biggest thing is just the amount of commitment that you have towards coming back, because if it means a lot to you, then putting in years of time to recover from that, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person if you don't feel like it's worth it to you to do that. But if it's worth it to you, then you put in the patient time to do the most that you can with what you've got. There are many times, and I don't want to belittle anyone else's injury struggles, but like with my shoulder, it would have been I had a very good excuse to stop doing full power meets, because my shoulder is going to prevent me for the rest of my life, unless I get it fixed, from being able to do what I'd like to on the bench press. And so it's one of those things where I try to work around it the best I can, but all we can do is the end of every one of my videos. All you have to decide is what to do with the time that's given you. So, Tyler, how old was I when I started lifting? I started lifting when I was 10 years old. I was very, very young, and I did lift in high school. I had been lifting for years and years. By the time I got to high school, I got into competitive powerlifting, and I think 2000. I graduated in 2008. I think I started lifting started powerlifting specifically in 2005, 2006. I lifted in equipment, and my senior year, I weighed 182 pounds. My single ply squat was 585. My bench press, I don't even remember, and my deadlift was somewhere in the 600s with single ply. So I know that I didn't bench 315 raw until I got to college. So it took a long time. Kalal, have I considered streaming my workouts? I've considered it, but I don't have a big enough following over there, because even these streams are relatively small, but I think in the future I'd like to try that out. We'll see. If I can get I need to get my computer issues figured out and become a little bit more tech savvy first. I'd like to upgrade my webcam at some point. I've got a lot of things that I want to do. It's just a matter of actually doing them, so. Let's close that out. PG, they got injured. The irony is that injuries happened during a bicep curl. It's been 1 year, but I'm still on the rehab. Thanks a lot for answering. No, man, I want to try and help all this kind of stuff. Yeah, injury, they happen and they suck, and it takes so much time to come back from it. I will say that there are very few feelings that are as good as hitting a PR that is post-injury, coming back and being able to get to the point, because when I did have my spinal thing, I was only really sidelined for about 3 months. I was very fortunate, and my recovery was very quick because I was very committed to it, and it was something that was fixable enough that I was able to make a pretty significant comeback. But I appreciated everything that I was able to do afterwards so much more. So yeah, that's how I would. That's something to look if you're tapped out on motivation, because that's the biggest thing, is that it can be really kind of it's hard to find the motivation when you're trying so hard and nothing's working. But just making choices, accept your current circumstances, do the best that you can with what you have in the moment right now, focus on what you can do to give your best effort, and then look to the future as being a potential for something positive coming out of it. And it usually is something not on the main lifts themselves. It's usually something that's silly. It's usually something that's a warm-up set or on a lift that you don't normally do, and it just really sucks. Imagine streaming during a powerlifting meet, all the views. I don't know how many. I wouldn't be able to talk to people. I get in kind of. I'm in a different place when I'm competing. Bash Crash, hey Ben, after a year of powerlifting, initially doing mostly machines, what would be a good total to aim for? Whatever you're capable of doing. Don't compare yourself to what other people are doing. Do the most that you can with your circumstances, because when you start tying your goals to numbers that are involve someone else or their story or what they've done to get to that point, you will either hold yourself back from your own expectations, or you will be aiming for something that's potentially not realistic either. So focus on trying to make the best possible decisions that you can. Set some goals, but hold on to them loosely, because you don't ever want to go to a meet and perform worse because you're chasing a specific number. You want to try and have the best performance that you can. That comes from just working as hard as you can, because you can't speed up your progression. You can't. You can work harder, but real progress. You can work harder in the moment and potentially burn through a little bit hotter, but at some point it all kind of balances out. And one of the quotes I really, really enjoy is that long-term consistency will trump short-term intensity every single time. This is a long game. Don't worry so much about what your numbers are now or in the very near future. Just focus on trying to be a little bit better and doing things a little bit more correctly today than you did yesterday, and then focus on improving tomorrow. Robert MVP. No, Robert's in the good grace chair right now, man. If we make it rain $1 super chat donations, will it make you take off your shirt? I'm gonna do another set, you silly boys, and silly ladies, if you're in the chat as well. I don't discriminate. I'm down. Oh, man. Robert, now I just realized you can give something back for all the videos you've watched. Your videos have helped you a lot over the years. First one I watched was July 2014 when I started lifting. First lifter I followed. Well, that means a lot, man. That means a lot. And to anybody who's watching that, and we're talking about money stuff, which always makes me a little nervous, but I want to just reiterate that I don't want anyone to feel pressured like they have to do something like that. As I appreciate it greatly, and it means a whole lot to me, probably more to me than you guys realize. But it's nice, and it's something that I want to be totally because you guys want to do it, never because it feels like it's expected or like it's the standard. I don't want to have a paywall on the content that I put up and the relationships that I built with all of you through however long you've been kind of with me on this. It just means a lot to me. And so I'll keep doing what I'm doing and try to do it as well as I can regardless of the financial incentive, because I love this, but the financial incentive sure does make it a lot easier. So thank you again. Oh, you guys getting me all... I'm supposed to be emotional because I don't want to die on these deadlifts coming up, but you guys have me emotional for other reasons now. Disc injuries really suck though. Lower back, spine pain is pretty much gone. You still have some bad sciatica. Invalians, I do not have a public Amazon wish list. I don't think you'll be able to donate through YouTube. Well, maybe we'll try to figure something out if that seems to be the push that people are. if I have indeed the demand for some other way of helping, we'll see. I feel real skeevy doing that right now though. And he ordered him some straps. Oh my gosh. No one's allowed to say that word but Robert right now. That's the Stream King right now. Robert's the Stream King. He can say straps. Sam, what type of progression schemes do you recommend for accessory movements such as floor presses, front squats, and close grip bench when doing a program like 1 5 3 1? Progressive overload, slow and steady. If you're talking about like adding weight over time or adding work volume over time through like adding sets and reps to your stuff, that's really dependent on the person. Again, I think for movements that are not your primary movements, it is more beneficial to focus more on slow progress weight-wise, and so set yourself a goal of volume at a certain loading, and then once you're able to do that to the point where it feels too easy and you have full control of everything, then I would start moving up the progression of that very slowly, because if it's not your main movements, then the weight on the bar doesn't matter. The sensations you're feeling and the positions that you're getting into and the specific target that you're working on, it's not about moving the most weight possible on your non-competition lifts. The only one where you want to be as efficient as possible and move the most weight with as little effort as you can is on your competition squat, your competition bench, and your competition deadlift. Everything else comes up kind of secondary to that. And again, you're already putting a lot of stress on your whole system, but including that connective tissue. That connective tissue is much slower in its adaptation rate. And so when you're doing stuff that isn't those competition movements and the weight isn't the most important thing, if you focus more on control and focus on being in good positions and getting the most out of the muscle tissue, then you're probably going to wear the connective tissue down less. And so use that opportunity to get more out of less weight and focus on, like, here's my volume goal, this many reps, this many sets, and I'm trying to get these clean lifts done with absolute control. Once it gets easy enough that I can add weight to that, and then kind of chase after that volume goal, that's how you should progress those, in my opinion. With most of my lifters, that's how I do it. With my own training, that's kind of the approach I take with a lot of my accessory movements. Dan Van Dam, how much for coaching? My personal coaching is $30 per training week. And if you're interested or have any more questions on that, shoot me an email at benricetraining@gmail.com. And then I am involved in the coaching team of myself, Garrett Blevins, and Brandon Campbell. And I think that our guided programming is $15 a week. It's a much cheaper option, and it's much more like group focused. So if that's more in line with your price range, then check out that. Link's in the description as well of the video. Perseverance is indeed the key, PG. Perseverance and commitment to just coming back at it and being stubborn. I often say that I don't think that I'm very exceptional in terms of most of my genetics. I think that the biggest genetic advantage I have is my stubborn ability to just keep coming back and working even when it doesn't seem, even when the results seem a little bit further out of reach than I'd like them to. At a certain point along the even if you're doing well, even if you're reaching your goals, there comes a point where you get so advanced within your own kind of spectrum of potential, where you run into where you're having to work harder and you can't just rely on motivation anymore. You have to make decisions based off of the way you want to approach this. You can't just be dependent on getting hyped up and motivating because it feels good. You have to switch it over to a qualitative decision-making process of the person that I want to be would make this decision, and even though I don't feel like this right now, I'm having this internal state of doubt or frustration or fear or anger at myself for not making this, I'm going to make the decision instead that is in line with the qualities of the person that I'm trying to be. And that is how you continue to progress even after you've been injured, or even after you hit a sticking point, or even when you feel like you're not making progress despite how hard you're working. So that's that. Lenny wants to see the hook. I'll grab it in a second just so you can see it. Brandon, once you get on a dedicated truck driver side, I hope that will happen in 3 months, consistently home almost every night. Want to get you as my coach. Well, I would be honored if you just, look me up and send an email then. Jermaine, yo, welcome back, sir. I think the stream is stabilized. You missed the choppy start. The stripper idea was shot down by Ben. As much as I appreciate the money, I don't want to encourage the kinds of decisions that I don't want you guys doing stuff like. There are videos of me shirtless on the channel if you want to go through that little that little hunt. You don't need to pay money right now for things that exist in the past. And I was probably tanner back then. I lived in a sunnier place. Dorothy, the Amazon wish list sounds like a good idea. Well, I'm not going to shoot it down. We'll see. Pretty much. Yeah, let's not play that game. I only curl with as little ROM as possible. Exactly. We freaks, fam. I've seen people curl with their elbows at 90 degrees for the entire set. I mean, you could call that an isometric hold in between. Bash Crash, thanks, man. Off to work, but casually pushes Patreon suggestions in the chat. Man, that's a dangerous area to go, because this kind of thing is someone would have to be watching the stream to hear this kind of talk, but if I announced a Patreon or something, I don't know how that would look to a lot of people. And I'm really hesitant to ask for things. I'd like to work. If people want to really support me and hire me, I think that's the way that I would like to go about things. Though this is always appreciated. So all this love in the chat right now, you guys get me all kinds of... I'm super behind, aren't I? PG, you wish you could travel to America and train with people who actually practice powerlifting from Brazil. Powerlifting not taken seriously here. Yeah, I mean, that's like League of Legends here in America versus versus Korea. That's how I feel about it anyway. Aliens from Amsterdam knows how I feel. Robert, shirtless Ben, hold up fam, I'll find it. Oh goodness, there's many videos. The strongman videos. I went from being like 230 down to 195, and I felt pretty good about my physique at that time. So there were some physique update videos. I'll tell you guys, I would have deleted them if I was super ashamed. I'm more embarrassed now, but it's not like a shame thing. I'm beefier than I was then. Ben's behind. Hashtag standard. Oh, come on, man. No fun. Basically what Ben is saying is we need to keep pressure on him to make Amazon wish lists. No, you guys need to pressure me to expand my coaching pool and push a little bit harder for that, because I wouldn't mind making more money by working harder. Type Ben Rice physique and you'll find it. Oh my gosh, you guys, no, don't play that game. I thought that it would be too hidden with the thousand videos I have on my page. I guess I just sort of answered all the questions that are incoming about my summer shredding series, that it's probably not going to happen. Right. Spider-Man is crying right now. Oh. Ben thought he could hide from us. Oh no. Is that a Cutie Pie reference, as in the league? Oh, right, the hooks. Captain Hook. Goodness gracious. I wonder if I threw him out. No, I didn't. Ugh. Now here comes the shame. I'm not ashamed of you guys finding my my more adolescent self thinking he was hot stuff with his physique gains. But these things, I have shame about these. So the way they work, they're straps. I got them at a garage sale when I was a youth and thought that you could use straps and still be respected. So you just wrap it around your wrist like that. It's Velcros, and it hooks onto the bar. And so you can still grab the bar. I hate them, though. I hate them. I hate that they exist and that I own them. I judge myself whenever I look at them. PG, for curious, I think we've decided between 5'8" and 5'10". I think I'm like 5'9.5". I'm convinced I'm getting shorter. I think I used to be a solid 5'10", but then just years and years of squatting heavy weights has compressed me to being a shorter man. We gooma now. Goodness gracious. Can you teach me how to get that booty I always desired for summer? I will say that the booty gains come straight up from pause squats and deadlifting. So if you want the booty you always wanted, just commit to heavy squats and deadlifts, and you will receive it. Check out Brett Contreras, the glute guy. I consider him a really good resource if you're actually, I know you're trolling, but if you want your booty, that's how you get the booty. Kyle, Ben, you're really earnest and humble, so refreshing, giving how sell out most YouTube fitness people are. Don't be afraid to toot your own horn. We all think you're awesome and super knowledgeable. It's not that I'm afraid to say things that I feel like are accurate, like I can squat this much weight or I can deadlift this much weight. And I don't think that people are all sellouts on YouTube. I think that they're treating it like a job, and that's how you make money in this industry. I think that there's a reason that I am not making a whole lot of money. And I think a lot of it comes down to I'm not the most entrepreneurial. I've been told that by many of my friends in the industry that I respect, and I don't think they're selling out. I think they're doing it a way that I'd like to be able to do it. I just don't think the way they think when it comes to those sort of things. Kal-El, I was Udyr main. I played jungle, and Annie support was my secondary role when I played League. And then I would be a Tryndamere top, or I'd play Annie in the mid. I hated playing AD carry, and I still would not. I would be tempted to dodge games if I ever had to go back there. What, you're 5'9", you look much taller on video. Again, I think 5'10" maybe. I'm talking 5'9.5" if I'm barefoot standing against a wall in like a doctor's office, I think. He looks tall close up to the camera, like 6'5". Oh no, I'm so tall, right? I'm taller than the rack. Look at that. No, I was surprised. I will tell you, and I think that this is public knowledge, so I don't think he would mind. My friend Bryce Lewis, I thought we were the same height for years because he's really good at filming himself from an angle and then I met him in person. He's not as tall as I thought he was, and I was very surprised. And I felt like our whole relationship for the 3 years we knew each other before I found out how tall he was a lie. I thought we were both like 5'10"-ish, and he was not that. Robert, bronze silver jungler. I never played ranked. I didn't think I was good enough. I couldn't commit enough time to improving. I was playing, just going up through it. No, you're a troll. Well, you're a troll who donated some money, so I appreciate a little bit of trolling. I guess I can let it go. Should listen to Kendrick. Fear when you get the time. I think the song will greatly resonate. Gotta listen to the lyrics closely though. PG, I haven't played the new Doom. No, my video game time is severely limited at the moment because I'm still trying to become more consistent with the things that I feel like I've committed to and want to be doing. Video games are one of those, but in terms of like high on my priority list, I have a few other things I want to be doing. Clow, Tryndamere and Annie pressing R for the win. I was trying. I would do all right. That's how you're supposed to start, right? Low mechanical. I had very good map awareness and very good macro understanding of the game because I was a fan of League for 2+ years before I ever tried playing, but I had horrible mechanics. I wasn't a gamer when I was a kid, and so that was I picked low mechanical champions and just tried to control the map through game knowledge. Boom. League of Legends lesson for anybody who's watching who doesn't understand that particular video game. That's how you're supposed to get better. Learn the game with low mechanical champions or any kind of video game thing. Figure out how to take out the big learning curves initially so that you can get a feel for the game. Then when you met Bryce, I've been friends with this whole time. I found out online. I found out before we ever met in person. The first time we met in person was actually Nationals this last year. We've been friends for like 4 or 5 years now. And I think the first physical interaction we had is he came up behind me and hugged me, and I scruffled his beard, and there was love instantly. So that's what's up. I told him and Sarah they need to adopt me, and I need to move to Colorado and be their little friend boy. All right. So you guys haven't been distracting me as much as I have been just not looking forward to these conventional deadlifts. I'm not gonna lie. It took me like 2 hours to get through my squats last night because how beat up I was. G without P. How tall is Bryce? 5'6". I want to say he's not like super short. Like Johnny is pretty not tall. Bryce I think is taller than Johnny. A lot of lifters, I was surprised. I feel like I'm taller for lifters around my, when I was in 93, at least around my weight class. I'm not sure. I hesitate to start listing off people's heights because I'm probably going to be inaccurate, and I don't want to do that. Because I used to care, but now I don't really care how tall I am considered. Johnny's 5'7". I would say they're probably pretty similar height then. Or so he claims. You guys. I haven't met Johnny in person, so. We were supposed to meet at Nationals this last year, but he wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. Got my mobility bat right here. Oh no, the stream. No. Come on. Did I wiggle too much? I think I wiggled too much. I walked away and wiggled. It's a sign from the gods. No deadlifts. Oh gosh, I hope not. I hope not. Gotta go. PG, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate the questions and hope that everything goes well. Early class tomorrow. Good luck with that. Keep up the good work. You as well. Promise us you'll set up an Amazon wish list so we can buy you stuff. Oh my goodness. I'm scared to even open that can of worms just yet. Don't do this to me, stream. We were doing so good. We were doing so good when I wasn't lifting. And then when I start lifting again, it's like, no. No. Do not. Come on. No. OBS, why? Why, stream, why? Eh? Are you happy now? Are you happy now, OBS? Hey, Ben. Hey, CB. Welcome back. Hopefully the stream holds up now that you're here. Save us, CB. Save us from the ping drops. Lenny, I don't think Johnny's hiding. I just think his priorities have shifted from making YouTube videos to doing what he's doing now in Texas. And I think he's had a lot of injuries, and that's really tough on your motivation. It's really tough to want to make videos and produce content when you feel like you're not at your best. Because there's a lot of, the better you get, the higher level you get, the more involved in the sport you get, the more your life is kind of tied to what you're able to do physically through the expression of your sport. And so I think that was something that really has been affecting Johnny's kind of motivation to make videos. But again, that's all speculation. Johnny didn't say that. I'm assuming that. So I shouldn't probably put that out there because it's not based on anything but my own opinions. Buy me new equipment. You guys don't need to buy me anything. I just want work. I want work. That's what I want. You like the shirt, Dorothy? This is a Ben Rice shirt. That's a way you guys could support the strength crew. I still get a cut of the money from the shirts that are sold. So this is the Gandalf quote one. Injuries isn't in my vocabulary. Goodness. Yep, the stream is continuing to poop itself. I wish that the stream would, because it's going in and out. See if that works. We need to figure this out, guys. Need to figure out why this is happening. The timing. See, I don't even know when you guys are seeing that the stream drops, because we've got the delay now and the video keeps cutting in. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. But we're trying. It's worth trying. I'm just watching the kilobits per... I work very hard on my rock and roll hair. Get it chemically straight under my style for hours. Goodness gracious. This is brutal. This is so brutal. No one... I can't recommend people watch this afterwards when it's this bad. I'm training too early for Thomas. Well, I don't think anyone's going to be able to really even watch this. This is going to be so glitchy. Half the stream is just me trying to fix the OBS. I feel so bad for you guys. I'm sorry that you're having to experience this with me. Maybe it's going to behave itself now. We'll see. Yeah, Thomas, I'm sorry for training so early. I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule. This is part of it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, little computer? What are you gonna do? Try to mess everybody's day up? Trying to mess everybody's day up? They just want to come hang out, be friends. Come be friends, and you're just gonna be a little computer about it. Let's see. I think it has to run well for like 10 seconds before the stream gets caught up. Yeah, this is bad. Oh boy. I'm gonna type to you guys. I'm trying everything I can on my end. Benrice computer building stream? Goodness gracious. The thing is, I have so many other things I need that I think a computer feels almost, oh, it's part of it, I guess. This is something that I want to be able to share with you guys. Oh, life would be so much easier if you can hear me still? No need to type? Well, I'm going to try to do both because I don't know if I can even trust anything right now. The OBS looks like it's holding a little bit more solid now. We'll see. We'll see. How are you guys' nights going? Or mornings, depending where you are. Is it just the video? Is it just the video that's cutting out? Is that the problem? Or is it like buffering? Dorothy, Coben tape? I don't know what that is, actually. By name, anyway. It might be something... What I really like to use is this stuff. This stuff is my favorite, but I like it some... It's AC tape. AC tape, can you see in there? This is my preferred because it's soft and it's flexible and it doesn't leave a residue and gunk on your hands. The video only buffers sometimes, but the audio is good. Just like, that's so weird. That's so weird. Then it must be my computer then. It must not be that can't be the internet, right? Or else you guys wouldn't be able to hear me too. You guys. Lenny trying to will the stream back to life with the $2 donation. Thank you, Lenny. Thank you for saving the stream. I'm going to laugh real hard if it doesn't drop again, because then you actually saved the stream. That's just causal relationship right there. Our boy Lenny saving the stream with the with the donation that fixes it. Oh my gosh, it's working. Oh man. That's setting such a poor precedent. That's setting such a a precedent of like, oh, this will fix the stream, guys. Just always, whenever it goes down, donate. When the quality of the stream drops to the point where Ben feels bad that anyone would ever give money for it, that's the time when more money needs to come in. Oh man, that's probably way funnier to me than it is in general, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Lenny. You just paid for the blue monster. You paid for a monster and a half if you go to Walmart right now. These things are like 4 for $6. That's way better. In Ellensburg, it was 3 for $5 was the best price I would ever get. That I can also improve on. When I think what's the general example when people talk about saving more money each year, when they like if you didn't get a Starbucks, every day or something, look at how much money you'd save in a year. That's probably the biggest, one of the biggest things that I could probably do is cut out my monster intake, because I do have at least probably one of those. I probably have one of those a day, and I don't need them. I drink them because I like them. I don't drink them because I need them for caffeine or anything. Raul, a question that's not related to the stream dropping. Do you think hook grip will become the standard in the future for all types of deadlift? Given we've seen so many high-level lifters switching over, many others utilizing it to break records. I think that when I was originally talking about the concept of switching to hook grip just across the board as being objectively better, some of the better responses opposed to that view would be things like hand size. And I don't think it would be as popular with lifters that do more extreme weight cuts, because I noticed a few people that were doing higher body weight percentage cuts that were having the rehydration effect would kind of make their hands swell up a little bit. And so if your hands are already pretty small to where you can't really get around with the hook, I don't know if that would be a reason that it wouldn't be the standard. I think the biggest pull away from it is how uncomfortable it can be and how difficult it is to train it consistently because of the effect it has on your skin. I do all of my back off work still over under, because trying to do a bunch of high rep work and getting adequate volume in with just hook grip sets just isn't feasible, not because of the pain or discomfort, but because of how much it just tears the skin up in that area. So I think that's going to be a bigger limiting factor for most people. Robert, you know that Yuri on Insta said he switched to the hook because there was something bugging him in his back with the hand he used as his underhand. People translated his Insta post. Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing for me is my deadlift training. Even the stuff I'm doing over under is better now because of all the work I was doing with the hook grip, and lining them up with the double overhand grip has helped me be more aware and cue my back position better and my lat tension and things like that. So I think that it can be really helpful. You've had similar experiences, your underhand drifts. Yeah, seems pretty normative. That's a big Lenny $2 word right there. Normative. Okay. This tape is a little bit unruly. Normally I would do this I would try to do this before the stream, but seeing as how I'm kind of having to sit here and baby the OBS so it doesn't run away, it's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, Lenny. I'm still chuckling on the inside that you did fix the stream with that donation, even though I don't. That's definitely not the reason it's fixed. Oh goodness. Are those all the spots that are going to tear tonight? It's a guessing game. It's almost preventative at this point of which fingers need to be taped. But I won't be using the hook grip for my conventional, just because they already feel horrible enough. OBS going to be like, what are you going to say? Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it, Robert. We're doing so good. Best go down soon. Need $2 to continue. What if that was how it worked? What if that was just to keep the like on Twitch streams when they have like keep the sub hype going, keep the sub hype going, keep, you know, you have this countdown before someone has to sub, and that's how it works. Ben's a TSM fanboy. I'm not a fanboy. I just like the team. When they make decisions I don't agree with, I acknowledge that. I think that prevents me from being a fanboy, right? Hook grip tape on the Amazon wish list. No, this stuff's super cheap. It's just Ace tape. I don't need fancy tape. It's gonna go in the garbage afterwards. Ben's probably doing this on purpose. Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm making the workout intentionally longer and stressing about this thing because I want the donations. Rem, am I happy that they dropped Turtle for double lift? I want to know more about the workings of that. I think that double lift. I think Peter's a better player, but I wonder how the team dynamic is going to feel. And if for anybody who doesn't care about League of Legends, I'm so sorry that we're talking about this right now, but it's a big part of, like, that'd be like someone coming on and asking me what I think is going to happen in football or in the NBA or something, because I follow this instead. But I think when Peter decided to leave the team hanging for the entire split so that he could work on things that were specifically for getting money, that I don't think sat well with the guys. I think that the rest of the team really felt kind of betrayed. Even though they all tried to play it off, they were not great at hiding that there was some contention in there. And Turtle came in and actually was there to help out the team when they. I think that it, even if the play level is improved by having a better player on the squad, I think that there may be some issues in terms of trust in the team. So I have mixed feelings about it. Honestly, I have no idea how League has the popularity it does. Not that it's a bad game, but it doesn't seem like a game that would have the popularity it does. It's fun. I like watching the matches. I think it's one of the best casted esports is the thing, and it's enough that you can kind of, it's engaging and interesting, and you can understand the basics of it, but it has such a wide skill gap in terms of just understanding things, so you can understand it on different levels of the game. And I think that's what's really appealing to most sports or most spectator things, is that it's relatively simple to get into, but then it gets more complex the more you know about it, and you can learn more about it, and you feel good about knowing more, and you feel. Dorothy, which tape? The AC tape? Or just this normal Ace tape? Because this, I actually... Oh, let me see if I can get you a shot of that. Hartman AC tape is what I would look for if you were doing that. This stuff is just Ace tape, and this stuff works. This stuff works great. This is my preferred stuff that my friend who's he studied, he was a trainer, an athletic trainer, and he would bring this. He was a roommate of mine, and so he gave me a bunch of rolls of this, and I got kind of hooked on using it, and I really like it. So this is my preferred, but it is way more expensive, and I only get it when he gives it to me, and then I keep this for meets if I had, like, some situation in the warm-up room where I would use this instead of the cheapo, just normal Ace tape. Main topic, League of Legends for the next video, man. I've already lost so many subscribers just having the live streams. I wonder what would happen if I just started changing up the content completely and talking about League of Legends. Gone with everybody. Oddly enough, linear stronger with a mixed grip than double overhand with straps or hook. Probably have some imbalances. I don't think it's necessarily so much about being stronger. I think that if you haven't trained that way, then it feels weird. So, he got hooked on using it. Man, this AC tape just gets me every time. The good. That's my good right there. Lenny, I'd probably get more subs talking about league, less niche than powerlifting. Yeah, but I'm not good enough to have an opinion on it, right? They'd be like, what's your ELO? And I'd be like, I don't play ranked. And they're like, bronze scrub. And then they'd flame. I think the powerlifting community in general is a little more positive than the League of Legends community, unfortunately. And I'd rather have a smaller following of positive people that are going to influence the world in a good way than have a huge following of a bunch of grumpers. Live streams send notifications. That's a good point, Invading Aliens. Sorry for notifying anybody who doesn't want to be here, who was subscribed to my channel but not interested in hearing what I have to say or sharing this experience with me. That's unfortunate, I guess. Sam, what are my thoughts on Johnny's 6-week bench program? I haven't run it. I don't have a personal opinion. I think Johnny said that it worked for him, and if people use it and it works, then great. Again, I'll always default to the answer that a program can work for, there are many opportunities for programs to work for people. I think that the best approach across the board is always going to be programming for yourself after doing some intensive research to understand the basics of programming, or the hiring a coach and having someone help you make those decisions based on you as an individual athlete. Any program that was not written for you is going to not be as potentially effective as a good, well-written program that was designed with you in mind. Rem, you're in it. To be honest, you get more viewers on Twitch simply because people are exploring on Twitch more. We'll see. I'm not worried so much about the steady stream of traffic. Though I guess having a wider reach is always a positive thing if you feel like what you're doing or what you're talking about or what you're sharing has benefit to people and you want it out in the world. I think that that's a positive thing. And so one of the things that I'm going to try to do is, last week I uploaded a video before streaming, and this time I'm trying to stream first and then upload the video afterwards, so that people kind of have an opportunity to, it doesn't get buried by the stream. Because I understand not everybody has 3 to 4 hours to sit and watch something that they weren't necessarily a part of. And even though I like this style of content, I can understand that other people maybe don't have the time for it. My old roommate, anytime I'd make a video that was over 8 minutes long, he's like, yeah, I can't watch anything longer than 10 minutes. Change the title, the Ben Rice Humps Barbell. Oh my gosh, millions of views. I'm gonna be honest. The whole clickbait title thing is something that really I'm torn, because I on principle I tend to not watch videos where I can tell it's a clickbait title, like you won't believe what happened, because I get, just on principle, I get really frustrated. But those things work, or else people wouldn't use them. Nudes released at 1 million subs. Goodness gracious, no, you're talking to the guy who's still self-conscious. I wear sleeves all the time because I don't want to have my arms exposed. Our powerlifting community more positive than gaming community? No way. In general, Robert, I think, especially in person, at meets and stuff, like, there's not really trash talk that happens in meets. There's segmentation between the different federations in powerlifting. I think it's way more personal. I think when people have beef in powerlifting, it's way more personal than it is in gaming, because in gaming you're just flaming and you're saying things, and it's almost like the expected kind of culture, which is unfortunate, but it's honestly how it tends to go. But with powerlifting, there's very little that's more personal than your physical capabilities. And so when you talk trash about someone's physical accomplishments, then it feels way worse than their ability to play a game, at least to me. So I think that maybe even though the community in general seems to be more supportive, it also has deeper seated frustrations, like, because when you say something that's negative towards another person, it's so much deeper of a cut than just saying, hey, you're bad at your role in this game. At least that's that's how I view it. But I've had nothing but positive experiences at powerlifting meets in person. Everything's the most like positive kind of vibe, and everybody wants everybody to do well. At least that's how maybe they're all just lying to my face and I'm just super naive, but that's how it feels. Workout gone sexual in the hood. Oh man. Goodness. Lenny, thanks for sharing. You've got a pimple on your eyebrow that you can see. Everybody needs to know that Lenny has an eyebrow pimple, okay? Super important. Maybe you have an infected sty in your eye that is going to the doctor for in 50 minutes. Goodness gracious, where you guys are falling apart right now. How do you think it feel? Lenny, you prefer YouTube over Twitch because I use your phone for streams 99% of the time. Twitch doesn't support mobile. I've watched some Twitch streams on my phone, but I don't think it has a mobile like a mobile version that is optimized as much. What are Carlos, my thoughts on Shako and his programs? I think Shako is proven to be one of the most effective powerlifting coaches in the sport. I have run many of his programs in the past with great effect. I think that if you match the avatar that those programs were written for, then it will be very effective. I think I tended to match up very well when I ran them, and that's why they were as effective for me as they were. A big portion of his style of programming comes down to submaximal work, where you are getting a lot of repetitions with the compound lift, with the competition lifts, and getting much more effective at performing those lifts. But again, as I will always say, the better option is to have something that's designed for you in mind as the lifter. And I think even Shako has said that himself. He has said that if you're running if you fit the avatar, if you fit who this program was written for, then it'll work. But you shouldn't just take your numbers and plug them into someone else's program and expect it to be as effective as training that is designed for you as the lifter. Mark Bell said this in a live stream he did on Instagram. He goes, most people don't need programming, most people need coaching. And I agree with that, but coaching is something that not everyone has access to, and it's an expense that if you don't have a lot of expendable income, then I could see people making the argument that it's not really an option for them. But in that case, then you kind of have to default to learning enough about programming yourself to do that. You're part of hiring a coach for programming aspects, or hiring just someone to make a program that's designed for you, is that you're paying them for having done the work to learn about programming basics and be able to write that. It's a skill. Just like if you had enough time, you could probably do other things that are learned. If you needed to like perform surgery on someone, you could spend years and years and years to learn how to do that, and have the potential and the capacity to do that. But it's more convenient to have a paid doctor, someone who went to school and learned that for you, so that you don't have to go through the process of learning it yourself. So, Alien says Twitch does support phones. I don't think it doesn't support phones. I don't know enough about it to have an opinion on this topic. So, Lenny, last time you used it, a year ago. Brandon, now that I've been researching, your pick is the Bowflex Select Tech versus the Power Block dumbbells. Amazon has the $1090 and $300 range. Due to being on the road, Dick's Sports is in You Go To store. $300 in the range, but check the fine print, Brandon, before you go clicking any boxes, because that's $300 for one dumbbell, I believe. So you've got to make sure that you check that out, because I was really excited when I found it for $300 and then found out that that was to buy one dumbbell, which if you're getting a set of dumbbells, you kind of need two. Oh no, we're back to the Interstellar talk, I can tell. I thought your Avatar was overrated movie. To be honest, it's no Interstellar, right, Ben? Goodness gracious. You mean The Last Airbender, M. Night Shyamalan's best work? Oh, I loved that cartoon. I loved that American. It's not an anime because it wasn't made in Japan, but I loved that cartoon, and when I saw that movie in theaters, it broke my heart. It killed the feels. I've never seen Interstellar. No, I'm very familiar with it, though. I haven't watched it because I haven't had time to sit down and watch a 3-hour movie that, while I'm interested in it, I will try to watch it with my girlfriend next time we have a chance to hang out. But she only has one day off a week, and I only have 2. So it's hard to get those to line up all the time. Like 3 or 4 times. You guys, stop ganging up on me about the Interstellar thing. I'm not worried about, don't worry about spoiling that movie for me, because I already have watched, reviews of the movie. I just haven't sat down and watched the movie itself. Disappointed me. Oh, goodness. Not this. Don't be hating on the Interstellar not having watched stuff. little too close. A little too close. Cool. Hope we didn't make the stream mad. That. I will say though, the interstellar theme has become my go-to for workouts like last night, where I know it's just going to be super uncomfortable the entire time. And then, oh, aliens! Oh my gosh. If anyone spoils the movie, Lenny will dox him in the stream. You don't know how, but you'll learn. Invading Aliens wants to become the Strap King. Donated 5 cents more than Robert. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much. Sorry, bro. Had to do it. That means a whole lot. Holy crap. Yeah, you guys just pretty much made up like the last like 6 months of Google ad revenue for YouTube. Holy biscuits. Thank you, aliens. Appreciate that very much. You guys give me the feels. Give me the feels. Last night I was crying because my squats hurt some. I was eye sweating because my squats were so painful. But right now we just have the other kind of feels, the positive ones. Wow. Yeah, Chester's gonna eat good tonight. Don't make me outdo you. Oh wow. Let's not start one of those, guys. Let's not start one of those. Then I'll have to buy a computer like tomorrow. That'll be, if we're gonna play this game. Shots fired. You know what? No, you guys. Technically, Aliens is the Strap King, but Robert, you're still allowed to say the word in the chat. You're still allowed to say it. Let's make Ben cry on stream. Isn't that a thing people do? Like, I think that's a big negative on streamers, right? Is if someone cries on stream. Well, you know what? I'm not afraid to express my emotional self. Boom. Although I will probably avoid it, just because it'll feel insincere now that we've talked about it. Bidding war for Ben's body. Let's not turn. He's the strap jester, you guys. Oh my goodness. I guess that's better than being turned into the strap queen, Robert. Yep. Man. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being so supportive. Oh, Lenny, I told you, no matter what money you put into that super chat function, the shirt is going to stay on. There are videos available for free on the YouTube channel if you guys want to see young Ben shirt. That sounds so horrible. Watch someone like click on the stream VOD after this and skip ahead and land on that part and hear me talking about that, and it would just be so not okay. Make me the strap queen. Oh my gosh. How am I supposed to focus on this thing that's like inherently evil and then all that positivity coming through? You guys are awesome. Oh, it's feeling better. We're straight up strapping. Robert's a grill now. Not with jumping jacks, bro. Ben, right. Now you're making like $40 an hour strap king money right there. Well, this is definitely more lucrative than my normal job where I charge $30 a week for training. Oh goodness. I don't even know. The strap would You did some weighted pull-ups with straps today because your hands were very beat up. Like the skin was really beat up in your hands, or your hands were tired? Because if your hands were tired, then you don't want to embrace and allow that weakness to continue to manifest itself, do you, Lenny? That's not what you're supposed to do. Goodness gracious. I'm in this weird place now. I'm in this weird spot up here because I don't know how to react to that. I don't know how to react to, because I was real excited about the last time. I talked to my dad afterwards and was like, Dad, I made $4 on this live stream. It was awesome. Thought we didn't know injuries. Yeah, Lenny, what are you doing? Everybody bully Lenny in the chat in the most positive way possible. Not really. You've held like 100 pounds plus of your max deadlift for like 10 to 12 seconds? How'd you get it up there? Like a rack pull or something? Probably a rack pull. Otherwise, your max deadlift would be 100 pounds heavier than it is. What am I supposed to do now? See, now I'm all messed up. We don't accept you now. Lenny, I can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you've done this. From Iraq, yeah. That's what Iraq. From Iraq, not Iraq. Unless you were in Iraq while you did it. In which case, thank you for your service. A short rack. Oh, that's gross. Those don't taste good at all. Let's not forget I single-handedly fixed the stream. He's right, guys. Let us not forget. I totally missed that. You guys didn't need to know that I missed that, because you couldn't see it. When will you learn your actions have consequences? Strap night for defending the castle, you guys. Oh. Goodness gracious. I just need to do another set. Got me all feelsy. Through here. Lenny, what are you drinking? Those are some egg whites, man. Basically a natty after that. Basically egg whites. It's just pure egg whites. Half a carton of those is 50 grams of protein. And it doesn't have much of a flavor. It's just the texture is real awkward. Jeez, Robert. You're so right with that. You're absolutely right. Let's try that again. A little forward on that. Pull that in the hands. Oh. Who wants to bet $5 in 1 year that chair is going to be a DX racer? I wish that I could afford one. This is a... What is this thing? It's just a little office chair, and I have a body pillow squished into it. This is not designed for that. A DX racer. It's because I gotta save my erectors for squats and deads, right? Lenny, I can barely eat cooked whites. How do you drink them? You just get used to it, man. You just accept that it's not gonna taste good. He doesn't use straps. Yeah, he doesn't have frail skin. That's why. Your hands, if your hands and your abs are made of iron from Thor's hammer, then why did you need to use straps for weighted deadlifts today? I'm just saying. The logic is sound. Are you sure about that? Straight from Tom Platt's legs. Lenny, you have a biology lab final tomorrow. Should you be studying? Do you study? Are you a good student? You should study and learn and weighted deadlifts this guy. Did I say deadlifts? Oh man, it's the egg whites talking. I get a little loopy when I'm a full carton deep of the what was that? I was gonna say something really that wouldn't work. It's the devil's something. Egg whites. Weighted deadlifts, is this some sort? You have like a 98% in there? Well, keep it up. Lenny, what are you doing? Letting the ball drop just because you feel comfy? You're content? Don't be complacent, fam. You gotta have the knowledge bombs. Learn all the things about biology, Biofrost, MVP. Robert, weighted deadlifts, is this some next level West Side thing? Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to get people on it for a while. The weighted deadlifts, my favorite personal exercise to fix the deadlift. Only do unweighted deadlifts. I just want to tone. Yeah, I don't want to get, it's accidental. When I was an RA in college, I had a lot of like female residents who would come up and they'd ask the question. They'd, like, what do you lift weights and you coach people, right? That's what you do. Well, how do I get, I want to get lean. I don't want to get too bulky. And my answer is always, it's like, you can't do it on accident. No one ever like started lifting weights and woke up the next day like, what happened? I got huge. I'm jacked right now. I wish I wasn't. I know too many guys have been trying for a very, very long time to do it on purpose who haven't, myself included. What? Robert's a professional toner. Yeah, that seems to be the running trend. Sam, make sure to get high reps, low weight to get that tone. Yep, that's it. You gotta train the lower body with the upper body and the upper, but then you'll have the upper body needs to get trained like the lower body, because you just want to get tone. Did I do good? CB, who designed your Live the Grind t-shirts? This is actually based off of a picture. This is a picture of me that a friend took, and when at the time people were like, the YouTube fitness community wasn't quite as saturated, and I had people asking if I was going to come out with t-shirts, and so I talked to Strength Crew and said, hey, people are asking about t-shirts and it's something I'd like to pursue. What do you guys think about it? And then Shukin, who is one of the owners of Strength Crew, asked if I had any ideas, and I sent him this picture, and I said it'd be kind of cool to have something like this, like the silhouette, and he did a drawing of it and sent it back to me with that, and then put the Enzo signal around it. And then I said, these are the two quotes that I want to put on the back. One of them was the Gandalf quote, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that's given us. And the other one is live the grind. Just because those are two of the mantras, I guess, that most of my life philosophy kind of flows from, are those two ideas. And so it was sort of born from that. And then we ran a pre-sale to see who was interested in it. And so that's how the Ben Rice shirts got made. And I wear them because they're like super comfortable. I like the material a lot. And it's funny because I have to make decisions now when I'm like going places on trips. Like, do I want to pack a bunch of me, or do I want to pack other shirts too, so I don't look quite so egotistical? Go away. Smoothie was the support MVP. Go away. Yeah, well, how'd that work out in the finals? Oh, he did. He did, though. He did, though. A meat grinder. White girl voice toggled. I used to, I'm letting you guys in here a little bit deeper when it comes to some of the info, but people used to think different thoughts about me when I was an RA because I would too quickly fall into some of my voices, my affectations that I do. And, yeah, they had some opinions. I did one curl and now I look like Arnold. Don't do weights, kids. Don't do it. Don't do it. Once you start, you can't stop. That's actually true. Once you get involved, like, what is it, bro science always says, like the first day of lifting weights is the last day you're ever big enough. Oh. Brandon, I don't need to cook the egg whites. It's just easier. I have pans to cook the egg whites in. It's just easier to just drink them. They're pasteurized, so you don't have to worry about like salmonella getting in and getting sick from doing it. It's just so much faster to just drink them straight. It's just 50 grams of protein each time, and you get used to it. For only $2 a day, you can feed the starving powerlifter. You didn't have to drink egg whites anymore. You guys already took care of that, man. Chester the cat is my hero. He trolls Ben. Chester was being a little muggins last night. I'm gonna tell you right now. Because I fed him and he was well fed, and he would just get up in the middle of the night, and he doesn't, if I leave him alone, he doesn't mess with things. But if I'm there, like if I was gone all day, I'd come back to the house looking spotless. But if I'm sitting there or if I'm laying there trying to sleep and he wants my attention, he will just knock things off. It's exactly like the meme where you'd see a cat just looking at you and just knocking stuff off of the drawer. And it is the most frustrating thing because it wakes me up in the middle of the night, and he's got food in his bowl. He's not starving. He just wants me awake to pet him. He's a little troll. If you guys are not following my Instagram, you should go check it out. I posted a picture and a video of Chester today being adorable. And I am a man who loves his cat, and I will fight anybody in the comment section down below if you think that makes me any less of a man. I don't care. Goodness. Pete Rubish once said his Benrice shirt is the most comfortable shirt I own. I think I told Shukin when we did it, I want the shirts to be nice, because I would feel really douchey if someone had one of my shirts and was like, I don't really like the feel of it, and that's probably how they'd sound. But I think we got a really good quality product. I wear my own product, not just because it's got me on it. That feels a little weird, actually. And Polo, what do I eat for breakfast? Depends on the day. There was a time when I was way more consistent. I'm still haven't unpacked from this last move, so I'm still a little bit off my rhythm. I would eat a bowl of oats with some syrup, a banana, and some organic brown sugar. I would eat that every single day. And now it's usually half a carton of egg whites, a banana, and maybe like a Lenny and Larry's cookie to just kind of get the day started. But I'll probably move back towards some more well thought out nutrition decisions in the next coming weeks as I get still more centered. Robert's legitimately triggered from Ben now. Yep, well, you started it, man. You started it with your talk about the League of Legends things. You should have. I'd be sitting here accepting all your sass if Cloud9 would have come out on top. By the way, that final absolutely wrecked my sanity for the day. Oof. Robert's done trolling. You just want to cry. No, I felt really bad for Jensen, actually, after that series. It felt really bad. But at the same time, I was torn because I was really happy my guys won, but I really wish it would have come out a different way. The last game of the North American Finals was really intense, and it wasn't well played by either team. It was just really intense. And man, you don't want to cook the egg whites because they burn the calories. I read that on Facebook once. Yeah, man, I would be heating the calories out of the egg whites. All the protein gets burned up. Something like that. Fred. Oh, I've been filming my squat form to make sure it's good this past month. It looks good now, I think. I was wondering whether I should keep filming my form or not. I don't feel like I have to anymore. You should. I started filming well before I started posting things on YouTube, which was like, I don't know how long ago. My first video that I ever posted, probably 2008 or 2009, I would guess. And I still think it's important to keep yourself accountable. I film every single set I do and I watch them back still. And I've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. Because even if you do one rep right, there's a chance that your next one, it doesn't stick all the time. Sometimes you always have to keep coming back and finding things to improve. I've never found a lifter who doesn't have something they can work on, myself included. So, Blind Monkey, why do I sound like a mouse? I haven't heard many mice speak, so I don't know. I definitely have a higher toned voice. I'm a tenor. I went to college as a singer. I'm in a professional a cappella group, and I think my voice tends to work out there. I'm sorry if you don't like it in the talking range, though. I apologize for that. You don't feel like filming it anymore? It's becoming annoying? If you don't want to do it, then don't do it, Fred. I'm not going to tell you you have to do it. It can be a good tool. As soon as it stops being a tool that's helpful and it becomes more of a hindrance, then maybe it's not the highest priority of what you should be spending your time doing. Lenny, the live streams do change how long I normally warm up. I can, if I was doing like a meet prep, or if I was in a warm-up room for a meet, I can warm up from empty bar to for my squats to 495 in 8 minutes, and to deadlifts I can go to like 700 in maybe 12 minutes. But I like to if that was the case here, then the workout would be over really quickly, and I wouldn't have nearly the interaction that I have with you guys. So, and I like that as part of it, which is why I only have these live streams on workouts where I can afford to take a little bit longer and I don't feel like it's going to negatively impact me. I tend to not do the live streams on the squat workouts because I need myself to stay on track and focused really hard in between the sets, because they take long enough on their own. Be home eating 9 hard-boiled eggs, but maybe it's just a home gym thing. Yeah, it also helps that I'm not like hogging a space that would potentially go to another lifter. No one's waiting on me here. What is it? 5:15, 2025? Yeah. 10:05. Gotta check the camera here in a second. Hey Ben, the meet went. Oh, awesome! Glad to hear that, Thomas. In Polo, how long did you go to? How long you do to go from 400 to 500 squat and 500 to 600? Tough to say, man. I was in those ranges for a very long time, and I don't think that I'd be the best person to compare someone's progress to, since I started so young and I spent so much time doing things incorrectly. I think that progress could be made way faster than I did, especially from those ranges. Fred, do you think filming my form every 2 weeks would be fine? I mean, it's a subjective subject, my friend. I think that if it's annoying to film and it's a hindrance to you and you're not able to do it consistently and get the benefit out of it, then it's not worth doing at all. But if you're able to do it every once in a while and just check in and see if things are going well, then I think that can be useful too. Just, again, we have to always adjust our approach to our set of circumstances and find the thing that you're most able to do, and then figure out, how committed are you to making changes and improvements to your technique, and how willing are you to kind of continue to tear down what your current idea of ideal is and continue to try and pursue perfect, because chances are if you've been doing it for a few months, you probably still haven't perfected it to the point where you never mess up. And again, I've just never seen anyone whose every single rep they do is perfect always, and it's really hard to do. That's why I think filming it's more about keeping yourself accountable. If that's not what it feels like, then you don't do it. What's my singing routine? Do you do 5-3-1? Obviously, fam. Hogging a space. What's that? What is this? Planet Fitness? Real men don't take rests. Like hogging a machine barbell. I do that all the time. It sounds like awesome when he sings. I think if you wanted a squat rack, you should have come earlier. Dude hogging stuff at the commercial gym really isn't cool. Seen plenty of dudes hog a only deadlift platform for one. When I was working out at the rec center, I would always offer to let someone work in. If they come and say, hey, how many do you have left? I say, doesn't matter. If you want to work in, you're more than welcome to. I think that's gym etiquette. That's how it should go. If you're working in a public space, everyone has the same right to be there. Oh boy. We gotta check the camera. Check it. Check it out. Yep. Glad we checked it, because I have no idea what that was pointing at, but it wasn't at me. That doesn't look even. Also, in terms of how slow this session is going, I will once again reiterate how completely and utterly destroyed I woke up feeling, because my squats yesterday, 5 sets of 8, just wrecked my whole system. And my erectors are torched, my glutes and my knees, my hips, everything just feels just bleh. So I definitely do not mind taking longer on this progression on the way up. I don't know how these are going to feel. 525 isn't like a crazy heavyweight, but I definitely have a lot of pre-existing fatigue going into these, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's not a disclaimer like giving myself permission to perform them badly. It's just, I don't know what it is. I just want to make sure you guys kind of know where I'm coming from in terms of my expectations for how these are going to go. But your expectations and your self-belief actually don't matter all that much in terms of your capability. So I'm just going to focus on performing. I'm going to focus on executing my cues, and I'm talking to you and myself to just do what I'm capable of doing and accept what that level is based on my preparation. So. That was all right. A lot of upper back, kind of where my traps are. Feeling a little bit torched. Dorothy, it's about to be 1 a.m. Oh my goodness, get some rest. Get some rest. There'll be a VOD. Please don't stay up on... You were setting up your home gym buying weights this weekend. Awesome. Fred, you need to tell myself that there's always something to work on. I feel like after 3 years your form should be perfect. Well, your idea of perfect may change over time. I've been doing this for 17 now, and I've done one squat that I think was perfect. Everything else I found something to fix. So I think if your expectation is to be able to be perfect 100% of the time with maximal loads, 3 years is probably not enough time to expect that of yourself. I mean, you should pursue that. You should try and make that the case, but expectations and reality may end up not converging very well on that. Lenny, you're not hating? You think I'm a great singer? The I'm a Mess song, that was my passion piece that the A Cappella group did. Now we've got one, we're doing a Kanye West song, Only One. I really like singing that. But we haven't gotten a good video or recording of it yet, so hopefully in the future. We had one at our last gig that we did a few weeks ago in Seattle. The performance was really good, but the video was really not good because there was so much background stuff and an ambulance like drove by. And so kind of the ambient noise and the microphone on my camera didn't pick it up very well. Aliens, you have the problem at your gym that if you're not hogging the squat rack to do your squat, someone else is going to be hogging it for bicep curls. Fair enough. Tom got second in his meet. You beat the old record in deads, bench, and total, but the one first later beat my dead and total record. Still have the bench one. Well, congratulations, sir. I know you were nervous and excited about that, so it's good to hear that you did well. Yeah, Lenny, if someone offers me to work in, it's cool. If I don't, though, you're my new gym nemesis. Oh, goodness. It's interesting to see different people's kind of mental space when it comes to like how they act in the gym. You can tell a lot about a person by not how they act in the gym so much as how they interact with other people in the gym. It's one thing to be in the zone, but it's another thing to be kind to your fellow person and gym goer and respectful. Yeah, that's how I met some of my best friends, though, working out in the same space and using the same rack. Yeah, I miss being around some people sometimes, but it's nice to not have to take 3 or 4 plates off the bar every single time I'm working in with somebody. Ben, I've been squatting John Hack style and am liking it. I think it's going to switch to high bar. Do you, man? You brave soul. Keep that ankle mobility on high priority mode, though. Whew. Invading lanes, John Hack style is with the extreme forward knee position. Very upright, very quad dominant squat. We seriously have this thing going on where everyone comes to the gym Saturday morning with a little container of food. That's cute. That's adorable. We used to do that with like strongman event training. I'd drive down from Montesano to Kent and meet up with some guys and do Grant Higa, Zach McCarley, Stan Efferding occasionally would be there, and some other guys, and we'd do strongman training events. That was a fun time. Blind Monkey, when trying out sumo, do you recommend starting wide and working stance in or going straight to a comfortable stance? It's tough in terms of what is comfortable. The bottom, you should have so much pressure and tension built up at the bottom of a good starting position for a deadlift, sumo, or conventional. It shouldn't be something you'd call comfortable, but I would say it's better not to start beyond your means. If you don't have the hip and glute flexibility and mobility to have a wide stance and be safe, then you're going to have a lack of stability in the hip, and it's important to build that mobility and then to do it. So I'd say probably more of a moderate position, and if you want to work out from there, then to do it over time, or start with blocks or with the bar elevated and slowly over time work your way down closer to the floor, depending on what your time frame is. And worry more about positioning than weight, always. That should be the case, because once you establish good, solid positioning habits, then the weight will come naturally, just from getting stronger and being more efficient with your technique. Joel, you made it. Yes, you did. Welcome. Big Lenny. I knew Ben was going to bring up the squat example before he said it. I've been watching too many streams. See? Robert, even Milanichev has mentioned how many things he feels he could do better on his squats. Yeah, it's a good sign of someone wanting to improve is being willing to be self-critical of the things they can work on. Once you believe that you have nothing left to work on, then what are you going to spend your time doing? Whenever I feel like I'm troll-proof in terms of YouTube uploads. When someone says, "Hey, your squat looks bad," or your sumo's cheating, or like your bench is horrible, and my response is usually something like, "Well, if it was perfect, I wouldn't need to practice it anymore." So, Kanye West and A Cappella, the song works. The song works well. Trust me. Eventually, I will have a video on this channel of our A Cappella group covering Only One, and I think you guys may like it. If you liked I'm a Mess, or you liked anything that was on our first album, I think you'd like it. Brandon, what kind of shoes you're wearing? These are a gift from one of my lifters, actually, from Marty Agos. These are the Manny Pacquiao's, which is a shoe that is kind of like a Chuck. I wear the Sabo deadlift shoes for my actual deadlifts, but conventionals don't count for me for deadlifting, so I wear these instead to honor my friend who sent them to me. Lenny, my ankle mobility is unmatched. I can make my knees go like a foot in front of my toes without... Oh, goodness gracious. I think my knees just cringed for you. That just sounds horribly painful. Going to be able to use while in New York all summer is going to be Retro Fitness. Only gym you're able to use. How after you? Depends. Make the most out of it. My friend Zach McCarley, I keep bringing him up because I think he's a good example for a lot of things. He won multiple back-to-back national strongman titles without having adequate equipment. He just he made it work and worked around it, and even if your situation isn't ideal, you can still make the most of it, and that's what you have to do. Kenny91, you demand. Thank you so much, Kenny. Appreciate it. You demand for coming and hanging out and joining. Lenny, conventional deadlifts don't count. Not for me, they don't. They don't count. This is not an... Oh, man. That'll be an interesting explanation if the coaches see this. They don't count. They don't count. I don't stress about my conventional deadlifts. I'll say that. I don't mind the weight being little. I don't mind focusing so much on technique and taking extra time to set up and doing all that stuff, because the why. Remember? The why determines the how. That was a good video, I think, where the point of these is to actually use everything, not necessarily make them more efficient, just make them better and more helpful for my sumo deadlift, because that's the one I care about. Trying to stay intentional with the negative a little bit too, so I'm not just dropping it and letting it bounce all over the place. And then building myself into that tension and starting the pull smooth and then trying to go a little faster once I've passed the floor. Oh, yeah. That's brave coming from a sumo lifter. I think I could pull 700 conventional. Tripled 655 in like 11 seconds before with terrible technique. My technique's way better now. I just don't think there's a point for me to try it. One day Ben will do a set. You guys got me all engaged in the chat. Now I'm committed. You paid me to pay attention at this point. Lenny, do I ever go on the Reddit powerlifting subreddit? Not very often. Very rarely, actually. Almost never. There's so many social media sites to try and keep track of. Aliens, just saw your Insta. You were in Seattle last week? I was in Seattle last week. Jess and I went Pokemon hunting on Friday. And I took some nice pictures so that people saw the pretty things we were seeing. I'm not a big city person in general, but I thought it was a really fun time at the waterfront. And so that was mostly because if I was there by myself, I don't think I would have liked it. We do a lot of shows. My A Cappella group does a lot of shows in Seattle, and usually it's not my favorite scene. But at the same time, I can see why some people really like it. And again, the waterfront is a really beautiful place. Lenny, you think Mike Teixeira has the best squat, bench press, and deadlift form you've ever seen? Mike is a very consistent lifter, and he's been doing it a very long time, and he prioritizes positions and is a very, very conscientious lifter. So, okay. Hooker 15, do you have experience with hip tendonitis? If so, what helped you? I do. I get hip tension, hip tightness. Again, I would always, with mobility kind of tilted questions, I would recommend people check out someone like Kelly Starrett and the Mobility WOD. Just Google search or YouTube search what your specific issue is, pain-wise, with Mobility WOD after it. And there's a very good chance that Kelly's made like 4 or 5 videos specifically addressing those kinds of things. I tend to spend a lot of time on prehab work, on mobility, on rolling out, on stretching in general. And usually my protocol with tendonitis issues is if you're having tendonitis, you need to take a little bit of time away from whatever caused it, because it's really hard to work around it and still get good work in and not just prolong the injury. You need to let the tendonitis dissipate, anti-inflammatories, icing protocols, rolling out the antagonist and the antagonist muscle groups around it, like your quads, your piriformis, your glute, your adductors, which is hard to get to, getting in that whole area and getting all the tissue kind of more malleable, and then working on stretching and opening up anything that got closed off is the way I'd go about it. Okay. Robert, see, Ben Canby we bought him into talking. Well, you wouldn't be able to buy me into something that I wasn't already willing to do. So I'm willing to talk to you guys. I'm willing to let this workout take as long as it needs to get, because I cannot stress how much squats felt like death last night. So Lenny, why is that? It's a pretty nice community. Which? Oh, the subreddit? No, just in general, I don't spend a whole lot of time on Reddit. I just spend more of my time on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You only have so many hours in the day, and I don't have as many that are dedicated to Reddit. I think I was really late to the party. Thomas, your cousin Olivia thinks that I'm super hot. Care to comment? Well, your cousin Olivia is very kind and generous with her opinions. Goodness. Joel, when doing conventional deadlifts, how do you keep your butt from shooting up before the weight comes off the ground? I'm a newbie. If your butt is shooting up, usually it's defaulting to maybe where your hips wanted to start in the first place. So one of the things I do is to actually start with a higher hip position than I would normally feel like doing. And over time finding where the spot is where your hips can still get into position and not be the first thing to shoot up. And then after that, it's about maintaining torso kind of integrity, I guess, through your core strength. And so work on your core strength directly. And then things like, I always try to cue my scapulas together and down, because when you do that, your lats are going to be engaged in stabilizing your spine. And then with a higher hip position, you tend to be able to keep a more neutral spine. And then the hips shouldn't shoot up as much, and then focus on hinging more than just trying to squat the weight and doing multiple movements within the same thing. So hopefully that helps. Lenny, yeah, you're probably setting your butt down too low. There's a high likelihood that's the case. Oh, excuse me. Those egg whites got me a little burpy. Blind Monkey, thoughts on eliminating imbalances? Got a big imbalance in my lats and arms from paddling competitively before starting powerlifting. As in, like, they're too strong? I guess that's maybe a good thing to happen. Just you have to work the opposite, work the antagonist muscle group to try and bring it a little bit closer to balance. Certain things can be unbalanced, and if it works for your sport, it's good. I have overdeveloped erector strength from years and years of deadlifting heavy. But if it was causing me issues in other ways, then I would approach it by figuring out where the other issue's calling. It's usually a matter of something else not being strong enough, so you just have to find where that is and bring it up. Bro, Facebook is for old people. I didn't get a Facebook until like my junior year of college. Old people and moms trying to tone up for summer. Mr. Dark Evil, love you, Daddy. Aw, love you, son. Hooker, it's 8 o'clock in Germany. I can watch this while making breakfast. This is great. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that it's working. See, that kind of stuff makes me not feel so bad that my sleep schedule's totally messed up. Because if I stay up a little later to do these things. Oh, no. No OBS. It heard me talking. Lenny, quick, fix it. Goodness gracious. Oh, got me scared there. Facebook status. Anyone who can help me tone up this summer. I don't want to end up big and bulky like Benny Rice. Oh, man. Well, stay away from my mini rice bowls. Joel, you're very welcome. I hope it helps, brother. Thomas, what were my numbers when I turned 16? I think I was lifting equipped then. I have no idea. I could not tell you. I know when I was 18 with a single ply suit, I squatted 585 and missed 605 narrowly and deadlifted somewhere in the low 600s. Lenny couldn't bench a bar when he was 16. Ain't no shame in that. I couldn't either, and I've been lifting for almost 7 years. What's the best video to watch for hook grip deadlifts? Use normal grip, but maybe I should switch. I made a video on hook grip deadlifts. I think that I did a decent job at it. And if you don't like it, then I would check out Alan Thrall. Omar had one, and there's quite a few videos out there. Start with mine. I linked a lot of other good videos too. So if you hate mine and it doesn't help at all, then you can go through the list in the description and maybe find someone who's more helpful. I think Clint Darden did one too, and I like Clint. I can't do all the fixing. Someone donate. No one has to donate. It's fine. Junior actually didn't start lifting 17-ish. Come on, OBS. We're making it. We were doing so good. Lenny kept it alive before. Come on. We're in and out. Let's see if that worked. Come on. Come on, OBS. We were doing so good. We're having a good time. It was friend time. Friend fun time. 1754. It's going in and out. Okay. At least I'm not missing a bunch of talk. A bunch of stuff from you guys. That's when I feel the worst. Alright. There we go. We started again. I'm hoping that worked, aliens. I do not want the stream to end on that note, because that was hilarious, and it needs to work. Even if ironically, OBS, even if you're just gonna do it just to play with the meme. Guys, I think it worked. No, come on. Stay with it. Stay with it, stream. Fight through it. Fight through it. It's just trying to purge all the non-believers, everybody who doesn't want to stick around when it drops. It just tries to get rid of everybody else. I think it worked. Never mind. I'll keep trying it, man. You guys, again, I'm financially invested now. It worked. We'll see. We'll see if it holds. Thank you. Thank you. I know we're laughing, aliens, but I really think that was really funny, and that was really very much appreciated. Even if it doesn't work, I still appreciate it. Oh my gosh. No. Why? Why you do this to me? Robert, guys, we paid again and it worked. I don't want to set that as the precedent, by the way. It's fun and games because you guys know, to anybody who's not in on this little joke, just don't let it affect your feelings on the thing. We're all friends here. We got to make a sacrifice to the OBS gods. Goodness gracious. No, I need to figure out how this worked. I'm going to call some tech people over the week and figure out how to make this not happen again. Because this is I feel bad for you guys again. I feel bad that I'm, because it's got to be on my end. I just don't know how, because I think my internet connection's solid and it's just the OBS keeps dropping. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can get a better version. Maybe I can use the generosity that you guys had and find a better version, more consistent version of OBS this week. I'll do that. Better PC. Well, I mean, that's eventually where we're heading, but just with things that Man, this must be what the CS Open felt. Oh, is it going to get me saying a thing? Did it work? Are we there? Are we there? Please be there. Are we there? Don't hold your breath. Or maybe hold it, but only until you need to breathe again. Don't pass out on my behalf. Yeah. Oh my god, we're down. We can all watch Interstellar together on sync play. Not if my computer's acting this way. The goblin trying to take it down. Draw your swords. Fight it, boys. At the CS Open, I can at least see you. Goodness gracious. It's great to see you still alive. I'm here, and all this is doing is giving me more of an excuse to not do my next set that I should be doing. But I want to get this fixed first. Goblin is getting pissed because Ben loads up 500 pounds and never touches it. See, that's it. It's a vicious cycle, because then I have to come and baby the OBS to get it to work. I touched it for 2 sets. We did 2 sets, right? We've done 2 sets. Try this again. Oh, I just threatened it there. Hi from Texas. Hello, Colin. I'm sorry you came at such a bad time on my end in terms of my connection. I apologize for coming into such a horrible stream quality moment. Great. In and out. What can I do? What can I do to fix this so it doesn't keep happening? Good morning, kind of, from come on. Don't know what to do. I don't know to fix it. Straps. No, guys. Did you try turning it off and on again? Yes. The one thing I know how to do is turn off the OBS and turn it back on. The problem is if I reboot my entire laptop, then it disconnects the stream completely. I only have a little, like a 10 to 12 second window. And try to get it reconnected, or else it cuts the stream into segments on the channel, is the VOD, and I really want to avoid that. What do you guys, did you try turning it off and on? Look at the bright side. At least my cousin still gets to see you, Ben. Well, I am glad that Olivia is able to not lose that, I guess. You guys know there's literally thousands of videos on the internet with me. So, but I want this to work. G'day, Ben in chat. Hello, Pupper. You came at a time that we're trying to battle the evil OBS demon that keeps turning off the stream. I know Stream Ben's a TSM fanboy, but don't hate him for it. Not everyone is perfect. Exactly. I'm not perfect. Please work anyway. Please work anyway. Ben, say you hate TSM. Maybe the goblin will leave us alone. I can't do that. It would be a lie. It can tell when you're lying. I know. I don't hate TSM. I can't. No kiss. Whoa! What is that? What was that? Ah! What happened to my face? More than normal that is happening to my face. Drop frames. Can I drop the frames? Can I change that? What can I do? I can't change that right now. This is what happens when you say conventionals don't... Oh, I can't say it again. What was what sound? What was what sound, Robert? Fabian, hello, welcome back. My day is all right, but the stream hates me, and it's trying to crash itself now for the third consistent time, which is just not good. It was Murphy telling you to stay. Oh goodness. Oh man. At least we're having fun with it, right? At least the vibe is still positive. I think that everyone who's still here wants to be here, in spite of the horrible stream demons. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. I can still see your guys' comments. Someone tell me if you guys still hear me, at least when the video cuts out. Goodness gracious. It's giving me an ulcer. Jim Elf. Scary thing is this goblin lives with me, man. I'm out here a lot. Gonna have to retitle the stream like just come while we just restart OBS over and over again. We can hear you sometimes. It's kind of choppy. Yeah. Definitely choppy here too. I don't know why it does this. Need more little people in powerlifting. Oh man. Stream resumed. Stream health bad. Stream health good. Stream health all over the place. I will say that the average messages per minute are through the roof right now with everybody trying to lend me their energy, so I appreciate that greatly. Shoo gains goblin. Shoo! Get away! Get away. This is a positive space stream. This is not for the evils of the OBS goblin. Begone, demon. How do other people just do this? Like, how would you have this going and have a capture card going through it? And I have so much more respect for video game streamers who are able to do this. I can't hear you when it cuts out now. Oh, that's unfortunate. Make a spirit bomb, Ben. I'm trying to collect all the energy, guys. I'm trying to collect it. And it just seems immune to my technological know-how. I don't know what's causing it is the problem. Ben's safe place, begone. You shall not pass. Did that work? Are you kidding me? No, of course not. That would have been too good to be true. Yeah, they do with the computer. My laptop was new. I had to buy a new one just a few months ago because my other one took a dive off a desk. This is fun. Well, I'm glad you guys are. I hope you're. I hope you're semi actually enjoying the struggle that is this. It's because I have a shirt on, bro. Biology. That's the problem. I am far too clothed for the stream to handle it. I am not. That's why I can't be a Twitch streamer. I'm not showing enough skin. What if I don't touch the table? Is that it? Is it because I was touching the table and I can't handle the wiggles? Come on. Come on, son. Return it? Yeah. Well, I'm considering it right now. Goodness. It just doesn't want to play nice. You think Big Lenny's up to something there? Yep, need more cleavage. That's the problem. There is not enough sex appeal on the stream. It just doesn't want to stay up. Unfortunate. Robert, you have to sleep, so all right. Well, have a good night, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you again for the very generous donation. Thank you again for hanging out in spite of the stream goblins trying to rob us of our fun hangout times. They're trying their best, but I greatly appreciate you hanging out the time you had. Ben spitting some truth. Can't be a Twitch streamer because he's not showing enough skin. Yep, that's it. Ben did not promise to do his next stream shirtless. That is not a thing that happened at all. Goodness. My middle name is not Timothy. What? Why? Where'd you get Timothy from? Is it holding now? Is that it? It took us like $40 to convince him, though. Can you hug me? If you were here, I would give you a hug, Thomas. That would... Especially if you had a way to fix it so that the stream stops trying to play with my emotions like this. I don't know what to do. You guys are watching how I deal with a problem in real time. Because this is how I try to react to things when they go bad in my life or they go wrong. Is I just try to find the funniness in it. I look like a Timmer. I do not. I do not look like a Timmy. My middle name is Allen, by the way. Benjamin Allen Rice. And I like to be, it was weird when I got to college, when my professors would ask, you want to be Ben or Benjamin? I would always be like, I like Benjamin. I feel like a grown-up when they say Benjamin. But from now on, your second name is Timothy, Benjamin Timothy. Yep. Is it working now? It's working now? That was it? Oh. Robert, be careful. Robert, if you still hear this, it's following you. It's chasing you. It's trying to stay with you. Dangerous times. The stream demon is chasing Robert. Lenny, Mr. President, how will you prevent these sort of live stream errors during the Interstellar live stream? It's 3 hours, bro. See, that's the big problem. We can't possibly maintain it if it's doing this. Asking the real questions. Goodness gracious. Thomas, you're good with that? All right. Yep. If you make it to Nationals in Orlando, just remind me who you are. Thomas with the committed cousin who watches streams that she doesn't understand just for support. What I appreciated greatly. Amiro, have I ever tried Wendler's 531 program? Yes, I have. I used it as a skeletal program to outline some things that I had done and some athletes that I've trained in the past, and then adjusted it heavily based off of specific needs, which I think is what you need to do with any program that is not designed with a lifter involved. I think the biggest issue I see with the program for most lifters is a lack of frequency and lack of built-in general volume. Alan, do your set, bro. Well, now the stream's going. Good call. I have been very much wanting to do this set and was waiting before I was rudely... Oh, we hit the key. We don't... Ooh. Tom, yep. Robert's making sure that the stream goblin's gone. He sacrificed himself for us. Remember him. Oh my gosh, his name was Robert. His name was Robert Pauling. That's almost Robert Paulson. Fight Club reference, everybody. We don't need skeletons. We're freaks. Okay. Goodness gracious. Okay. Well, that was the most unintended extra rest period time I think that I've ever had happen. So that'll be fun. My hands are probably going to feel all like freshly pained. It's okay. You know what? Worth it. Hashtag worth it to keep you guys in the game with me. Definitely. Sup, William? Welcome back. Oh my goodness. You just missed the most dramatic 20 minutes of stress time. You heard a lot of powerlifters do 3-5-1 variations of Wendler instead of 5-3-1. Why? I think a lot of people, aliens, like the idea of having separating their heavier weeks and using the higher rep weeks as kind of a deload from the intensity in terms of their connective tissue. Whew. Not high enough frequency. Lenny, you're getting good at answering this. I will say that we do have kind of a consistent little group here. And if ever the need arises for moderators, you guys are on the list. Essentially a bro spread. William's back. Hero. Oh, aliens, you just missed your doctor's appointment? That's not good, man. Is it because you, is it because of the stream? I hope not. Or because you didn't remember and the stream was also happening? All for a good cause, though. Oh, goodness. Brandon, when you start seriously powerlifting training, how long will it take going from a 0-week skinny guy to my first meet? As quickly as you want to go to your first meet. I don't think there's a buy-in in terms of powerlifting qualifications for when you should do a meet. You should do one and find out if it's something you enjoy and if it's fun. And it's almost better to experience that before you get more experience with the actual lifting portion of it, because it allows you to find out, it allows you to really decide and discover if you have a joy of the process. And you have plenty of time to stress about your numbers and stress about things that you want to be able to get to in terms of your own progression and expectations. And so it's better almost to just get in and try when you don't have any real expectations of what is going to happen, and really just kind of have a pure first experience with powerlifting. Moderators? You mean knights? Yeah, you guys would be the knights to fight off the goblins. If that helped the stream stay more consistent, you guys would all be stream knights right away. You make a Benrice puppet and host your own live streams? Oh goodness. Thomas, what programming style would I recommend to you, being 16 novice lifter with about 4 months experience? To be completely honest, whatever is simple and progresses from probably on a 1 week or a 2 week microcycle of like you should be able to get stronger over 1 to 2 weeks and be able to see improvements on that. So like any novice program would be a good kind of something to put into place, and then find where you're weak in the lifts, find where your breakdowns are in terms of your technical proficiency, and try to constantly work towards improving your positions, improve your consistency with whatever weights you're doing. So I wonder why Ben Timothy Rice is you guys. It's not Timothy! Down to support this cause. For training. And spelled your name. Candido linear program works quite well for people of that level of experience, I think. You might want to look into that. Just 1 week linear progression with a basic upper lower split. That's good. Izzy's powerlifting to win novice program was good. When you feel like it's starting to take a little bit longer, more than just a couple of weeks to see progress, looking into something. Well, I think is it the Texas method? Texas method, Ripto's thing? Do your fives. That's based on a weekly progression where you start the week a little heavier, then you have a lighter day in the middle, and then you have kind of a retesting day, and that's on a weekly microcycle where you progress pretty linearly. So that's what I would suggest. Once you hit intermediate levels, then you just need to space out the microcycle and not plan and work a little bit more in between kind of the retesting and progression. And then once you hit advanced, it just takes a lot longer to do that. Lenny did is that Ice Cream Fitness, that Jason's initial novice program, and liked it. I don't have any experience with it, but those are good, again, skeletal programs to work on. If not, if you want something more customized to you, either get a coach or watch, specifically, I'll just say watch the Eric Helms series about his strength training pyramid, and just put in, maybe it's a total of like 6 hours, but you'll understand training a lot better afterwards, and you can make better decisions. William did Strong Lifts 5x5, and did you like it, William? Did it work for you? Pupper, has anyone tried Candido's 9-week squat program? I have not. The only person I've heard of who did it was Johnny, so I don't have any data to back that one up. But if someone does, please share with the stream. Lenny's heard that it's very difficult, though. Yep, definitely. Izzy said Texas method is for intermediates. If it's the one I'm thinking of where it's on a weekly, intermediate, a novice could be, wait. Okay. Do your fives, my son, Fabian, with the rip toe. Not very difficult. Amiro, does the 531 program work for you? I need more frequency than is in the base 531 program. I have to alter it. But as a starting point, I think it's a good skeletal outline for designing a program. But I personally like more frequency, and I don't like benching by itself. I don't like having a day that's just purely dedicated to benching. I like to bench with squatting or deadlifting, since every powerlifting meet you will do, unless it's a bench-only meet, is going to have a lower and an upper body lift in it, and is going to challenge you in different ways. Izzy said the Texas method isn't for intermediates. Maybe I'm misremembering. But I think Izzy's answer would also be that you just need to find something that works and is on a shorter time from work to testing protocol. That's the difference between novice and intermediate and advanced, is just how quickly you can see progress made with a maximal effort being done. I'm not really comfortable with programs. I really prefer just going along with my workout and seeing what works on a certain day for me. Is it possible to keep on track, or should I really use programs? I don't think that It just gives you a structure so that your decision making is based off something that's more objective than just on how you're feeling. Because you might have days that you're feeling good or feeling bad, which is pretty normal within the context of any kind of training progression. But without having something that's a little bit more objectively focused on moving you forward, then you may end up pushing a little harder than you should, or falling back and having to recover. And taking extra time. So it's not necessarily that it's impossible to do without something that's specific, but it is definitely more, it's more in line with making long-term progress if you have a bit more of a plan. Structured longer than just like a day-to-day sort of thing in general. Thomas, you did the squat program? Fabian, depends on how you define intermediate, but still progresses weekly on Texas method, which makes it not a very advanced program for most guys' definitions. Yeah. Brandon, what weight do I compete at in pounds? I am going up from the 93 kilos, which is the 205 class, to the 105 kilos, which is the 231 class. I would prefer to be a 220 lifter because I weigh 220 pounds or about 100 kilos pretty consistently, and that's about where I tend to be. Never ask a lady about her weight. Yeah, well, you can ask me. Ben drinks communist egg whites instead of nice clean whole milk, like the Lord Ripto recommends. May your hips not drive into the heavens. Fair enough. That's probably what brought on the Gaines goblin that's in the OBS. Fabian likes Lenny. I like Lenny too. Lenny's a fun guy. Thomas got about 30 pounds out of that squat program. Well, that's some decent progress. Sick halfway through. Do you think it was worth it? I'll let you guys discuss that. Got you 385 squat run max. One roughly 2 years. I loved it. Wish my gains stayed that way. Yeah, don't we all? The better you get, the harder you have to work and see less progress. That's living the grind, friends. That's what it's about. I've been contemplating it, kind of sitting on the fence for a while. Hi, G. Or Gee. Hi, Gee. Interesting coaching, but I was wondering if you include a focus of bodybuilding along with powerlifting. I structure my coaching around the lifter's goals. If the lifter wants to be a better powerlifter, and that's purely it, then I focus on getting them to be a better powerlifter. If they have other goals, then I do my best to implement them. I feel more competent and more qualified to train powerlifters, but I understand the basics of hypertrophy because it's necessary for powerlifting. And so for bodybuilding being a part of it, yes, I would hesitate to feel qualified to accept someone who is purely focused on bodybuilding. But if you're a powerlifter who also wants to work on some aesthetic type things and some bodybuilding along with it, I feel like I'm qualified to handle a lifter like that. And I have a few that are like that. So Emro, do you low bar squat according to Mark Ripto? I do not base my particular squat technique off of Ripto's version of the low bar squat. No, there are some cues and parts of it that may line up, but it's definitely not where I learned it, and it's definitely not what my. I don't always agree 100% with every part of that style of squatting. In terms of my particular build and athletes that are built like me. I don't think that it was the best for me at the time. Yeah. Thomas, how much work, 90+% do I do? Hardly any. I used to do more. This is one of those things where I think that your training program it's not always consistently going to be best as the same thing. I think that I was able to train in higher relative percent ranges when my maxes were lower, because the heavier you get in terms of absolute poundage, again, your soft tissue and your musculature will have a faster adaptation rate than the connective tissue, your joints and all that stuff, and so it gets a lot more beat up if you keep working in those higher intensity ranges. And so eventually you have to take enough load off the bar to work and get adequate volume to continue to progress, which you can't do when you have extremely high absolute maxes and are constantly pushing the super high intensity work as well. So At certain times during my lifting career, I think it was more beneficial than it is now. And so that's why we don't have me work too much in the higher intensity ranges. It doesn't necessarily mean that those other times were wrong, but they would be wrong to do those now. I hope that helps you understand a little bit more where I'm coming from. Ugh. All right, got to do another set. While the stream's still up, we got to do another set. Oh. Okay. Last one was lazy. Oh. Thomas might do the strength method. William thinks you should do the 5x5. Yeah, I think that a lot of programs can work. So I hope I'm never telling someone that one idea is just impossible, not going to work for them, because it could be the best thing for them at that time. But I think 100% learning a little bit more about the fundamentals of programming and adjusting programs to fit the lifter is always going to be better than trying to fit into a program that's not built for you. And then ultimately, coaching is the eventual way to help break plateaus that you can't figure out on your own. Whew. Lenny can't wait for the shirtless Interstellar stream. It's going to be good when I tell you. Oh, man. What if it just happened? What if you guys were just on the computer tomorrow and I was just sitting here and I had a little box in the corner and we were watching a copyright claim bait Interstellar stream? Goodness gracious. Thomas, what if I want to work out more than 3 times a week? That's tough too. That's tough too. I used to always want to PBR. Sup, Chubby Ben? Sup, bud? Lenny liked strong lifts, preferred the accessory work with the ice cream fitness though. No, Lenny, PDR calls me Chubby Ben because I called myself Chubby Ben once. It's all good. No need to fight. No need to fight. I just want to point out that the 2 people who've been sacrificed to the goblin to keep us safe. We started the stream with 29. Oh my goodness. No, I wonder if every time the stream drops and then it pops back up again, if everybody gets a fresh little reminder that it's going, and that's why people just hate me now. But again, I'll say it. I said it before. I'll say it again. I much prefer a smaller group of people that want to be here than a bigger group of people who are just here because it's convenient. William, dips and pull-ups is the she-is. We only get notifications when you start it? Well, good. I wonder if that one stream that I did where I let the stream drop like 5 times before I knew how to how to refresh it and keep it as one video. I wonder if that was pinging people every time I started it. And that caused the initial like 100 people to be like, we don't want to be around here anymore. Also, a part of it is probably because I wasn't uploading videos. But tomorrow, got the new, worked up a new outro, got it ready to go. We're replacing the 750 pull with an 800-pound pull in the outro video. That took a while to work on, but Benrice, the pariah of the powerlifting community at Politic. I think I'm pretty. I've had very good fortune in the community in terms of positive interactions with people. I don't know what people say when I can't hear them or when I'm not interacting with them directly, but I don't have much negative things to say about anybody in the community. People unsub because they don't watch your videos and don't get notifications about your videos, but they get reminded when their notification and unsub. Fair enough. That's fair. I'm mad at that. Got one more set left, and I could do it now. But I think that after that set, we're probably going to end the stream because it's 3.5 hours. I was telling myself, I'll do this one in 2 hours. And I definitely know we were capable of it. Could have done the stream in 2 hours. But the goblin kept showing up. That was 20 minutes each. Sleeping in your garage? No. I work out here now. I used to. It's just easier for me to come out here and work when I'm working on programs and working on updates for people. Just to come out here. Don't do it. Well, not. I've got to do the set eventually. And what I don't want to happen is to wait until the stream drops again and then it's bad. It's okay, the goblin's gone now. Yeah, it followed Robert home. Poor Robert. He's not going to be able to sleep tonight. Would it be fine if I did 5x5 but added like 2 hypertrophy accessory and variation days? That's taking a program... you always have to be careful when you're just adding things to a program without taking something else out of it, Thomas. So just be aware of that. You're young enough that you should be able to handle it, but you just have to be aware of it. I would say start out normally. My answer to that, Thomas, if you're wondering, is to start out without adding things, and then always get excited when things are too easy, and that's when you can start to slowly add things in. But don't start with a program that you've added a bunch of extra stuff in, because you don't know how you're going to adjust to it and how you're going to react to it. You might find that you are less motivated to go more than 3 days a week if you're doing a program that is built for 3 days a week and is adequately challenging. So adding more is not always better. Adding better work or adjusting things better and more optimally is better. I have a spare bedroom in my garage at Politic. If your work capacity, you just run yourself on the ground in the way you won't keep with the progression built in. And don't forget that overtraining is not a meme. Been doing wellness 531 for 2+ years. My progress stalled too long, so 5 came 3 5 I wanted to build a bit too. Yeah, you guys are self-moderating very effectively right now. Yeah, because I'm used to lifting 10 to 12 hours a week, split into 5 or 6 days. Yeah, that's one of those things where your frequency, you're at your personal ideal frequency, volume, and intensity ranges may vary. And it may vary drastically from the start of your strength journey to the end of it. So. Alright, guys. I don't think I should wait to do this last one. I have 24/7 because I'm a freak. We freaks in here. We freaks in here, boys. Oh, goodness. I never put the bar down. Yeah, just remember, guys, recovery is a huge part of it. Don't do it. I gotta do the set, Lenny. I gotta do the set. It's almost midnight. We were planning on ending by 10. My skin is groaning in the knurling of the bar. The Egizele I put out of the cage. Oh, man. You guys are cracking me up. You're saying I'm too into lifting that I can't only go for 3 days a week. It's almost 2 a.m. there. It's almost 2 a.m. there. Yeah, but you're not waiting 20 minutes and then trying to deadlift and playing a game of stinking roulette with your spine. Like, oh, am I bracing enough, or did I forget how to in between these two sets? Yep. I've been here all night. Always ready for the bar to magically appear in my hands. You guys are so set. So ready. Much prepared. Oh, man. Oh man, that fourth one was real. I rushed it. I didn't get into position. That was the problem there. Oh no. Ben looks so skinny from this angle. Never mind, he looks big again now. Oh man. Thick, solid, and tight. Lenny. One time in class, I fell asleep and the teacher woke me up and asked me if I was ready. I said, I'm always ready. Yeah, that's 100% true story. Out of 10, would honest. Goodness gracious, you guys. Fake true story. Timothy Thick. Tomas looking into BBC Brandon Campbell's. It's like Lane's fat. Oh boy, what did I start here? I propose to change Ben's middle name to Timothy. All who agree. Guys, come on. I like Alan. I like that's a good middle name. Sorry, Ben. It's already done. No. Oh. We're going to have the next stream. People are going to be calling me Timothy. No one's going to get the joke. Man. Intro. Exclusionary stream humor. It actually did happen, I swear, in my pre-sale class. I was barely awake, pre-cal. I used to fall. Oh, it sucked. I had an 8 a.m. Music history class, and we would listen to like really beautiful classical music through all sorts of the Baroque period, classical, the Renaissance, all these different musical periods of time. And I would wear my hat, and I would lay down like this, and like you could play it off like I'm listening to the music, and we would just basically listen for like 30 minutes of the class time was listening, and every once in a while I would just catch myself kind of, whoop, I fell asleep. But it was almost like it was too acceptable, because if I was worried about getting in trouble, from it, then I probably would have been able to stay awake more easily because I'd have that extra motivation. But it's like, oh, he doesn't even care. Oh, it'd be even worse when we were watching operas. We would be watching a scene from an opera, so all the lights would go out and it's just on the screen. Aliens used to pull all-nighters, then fall asleep on your 6 p.m. business IT management class. Professor really didn't even care, though I was always seated in the front. In the front and napping in class? Unfortunate. Unfortunate, fam. Some class, you even had class on Saturdays? I was in a men's choir that for my entire, it always was at like the worst possible times when I was going through my university classes. I loved the class, but the first few years I was in it, it was like it was like 7 to 8:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'd finish class like at 1 or 2, and I'd have this weird block of time before I'd have to come back and do like hour and a half rehearsals. And that was on top of like having normal extra non-class related rehearsals for different groups you had to be in. So it was rough. Had class from 7 to 9 some days at your old university. Yeah, there was my first quarter at college. I was only taking the max amount of credits, like 18 credits, but it was split over like 8 classes because a lot of them were only once or twice a week, but for multiple hours long. It was pretty rough. Fabian, the intouchables or untouchables? Thomas, you going to bed? Love you. Oh, good night, man. Thank you for hanging out. Say hi to Olivia for us. Yeah, good night, good night, good night. Good morning, Itman from the UK. Good morning. Stream's kind of winding down now. So, see you guys in the next live stream. Yep. Not sure whether it's going to be Friday or Saturday. I'm helping out one of the high school powerlifting teams around the area. They have their state powerlifting championships on Saturday. And so I will either be streaming Friday and moving my workout in a day early, or I'll just wait until I get back from helping them out at the... It might be better to do it afterwards. So I'll still plan on doing it Friday or Saturday. It just may be about the time it normally starts, which is relatively late. So next stream, school powerlifting team, WTF, yeah. It's my hometown powerlifting team. Privileged kids. That's where I really got my start in actual powerlifting. We had let me see. Intouchables. Looking for a good movie anytime soon, chilling with your girl or so. Yeah, I think we've been kind of... I have to at least see Interstellar now is on the list. And then Intouchables now is on there. Unfortunately, guys, yeah, the powerlifting team, there's a bunch of really, really nice kids, really good kids. I've only got a chance to work with them for a couple of sessions in the last 2 weeks. I wish I would have known that the program didn't have a whole lot done. Thomas, she's watching. Oh, good night, Olivia. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you putting up with the silliness, even if you're not a big powerlifting fan. Yeah, I've only had a couple of weeks getting to work with them, and they're a bunch of really good kids, and I find myself really thinking it sucks that I wasn't able to kind of work with them from earlier in the year, because I can't really do anything with their, like, I can't make a bunch of changes, because I've only been working with them a couple of weeks, and I would want them to be able to, like, see progress be made, but it's the state meet. It's not like we're just going to a meet. They're going to their last meet of the season. But I'm going to try my best to help them out as much as I can. Going to be wrapping knees. It's Washington State powerlifting is a single ply thing. You can compete raw, but everyone lifts in single ply equipment. Usually just hand-me-down suits that the school has through the program. When I was in high school, I bought my own my senior year. But yeah, fun facts. Oh. Lenny, you should donate them Ben Rice shirts. They're not, it's not just all of my, I do have the shirts from Strength Crew, but they're not like my sole property. It belongs to Strength Crew, and I just am the distributor. So I would give them all. Actually, I do have a, no, that wouldn't work. I have a drawer of old Universal shirts from when I was sponsored by Animal Pack that I could give them. Well, you're in luck. Ben is gonna stream. He is not gonna stream it shirtless. That is not the thing. William, I'm sorry if that was something that you were looking forward to. Lenny is telling everybody that I'm going to be doing the Interstellar stream shirtless. That is not going to happen. Goodness, you guys. Thick Timothy. You know what? I'm just going to embrace it. Because isn't that the worst thing you can do for a meme, right? Is to, like, let it get to you. So fine, bring on the Timothys. Lenny, if you say it enough, it will not happen. Thick Thorny? What are you doing? You silly boy. It's okay, Lenny. No, I'll pass. Thanks, William. I appreciate you standing with what the streamer wants to do. I will not be bullied to remove my shirt. You silly guys. We can dream it, dude. If you're needing to see it that bad, guys, there are videos of me on the channel where you can already figure that out. Oh man. I think we're gonna be winding it down, boys. I think we're gonna be winding it down. About ready for because I know that I will get my accessory work done way faster if I'm not streaming it. You want to see the beautiful chub on display, the technical hammer curls. I think the rule is, PDBRE, I can never curl while you're watching. That's got to be it. Man, you guys. Yeah, I don't think I even listed hammer curls. I think I need to do my overhead tricep extensions, though, because I think I missed them the last couple weeks. Gymshark will be calling soon. Yep, will. That's it. Night. I'm off for now, boys. It was awesome hanging with you all. Timothy as well. Goodness, no. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna be calling it a night, guys. I'll stay until the end. Give me your strength, guys. We beat back the OBS demon to leave us alone so that we could have a sentimental parting of ways in the right way. You have a hammer on stream. No, I have a baseball bat here. Fun fact, if you don't have a foam roller, or you have a foam roller that is not adequate, this is almost as good. Baseball bat, lay down, doesn't have any flex, and it's got a smaller surface area, so you can dig deeper into your IT bands. And it's closer to the ground, so you don't have to hold yourself up so high. Fun fact. Politic, I'll never surrender. That would be so clever. All right, friends. I greatly appreciate you guys for hanging out with me through all of this. Yeah, I caught myself, Will. Let's not get there. Let's not even go there, man. I caught myself. We don't want to play that game. Anyway, yes, before the OBS demon returns, I want to say thank you all very, very much for hanging out, and to the guys who made my night by doing those very generous donations that are not necessary, but always very much appreciated. I greatly appreciate them. So thank you guys so much, and love you all. Hope that wherever you're at in the world, you are in a good place and having good things happen and continue to happen. And I will talk to you all on Saturday if you're back, and if not, I hope you check out the video that I will post tomorrow. I think we're going to go with potentially going into the coaching topic that in terms of programming and stuff. Owe me your life now. Yes. Lenny fixed the stream with his $2 donation, and we all appreciate it very much. So thank you, Lenny. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody, for making my night way more fun. All right. So good night, guys. Thanks.